Straight to the point. Tikwe. So, what are the SDGs? Yes, they're interlinked, but how can we work around them to harmonize? And then where are we? And where are we going? And how can we help? You get? That is also going to be covered. That is why we are here. That is why we are here. And all these answers, our facilitators, if they didn't have them on the paper, they've added them. Yes. What is that other one thing that at least you want to hear it being talked about before we leave? Yeah? We want to make sure that by the time we leave this place, you don't have questions about certain things. I understand there are some questions that will come up during the sessions, but it's better to have these key burning things within us to be sorted before we even start. Yeah? Any other person? Any question? Anything that you want to say? Table? Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much once again. One thing I would like to expect from you guys is the discussions on how we can align the national and local policies within the SDGs.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I think we have any other person?
Maybe we have a visitor. She needs to introduce herself. We get to know her. How are you? We would love to know you, where you're from, and why you're here. What do you want to know? What's your expectation?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Bridget Nsimenta. I'm from Barara. Mainly, I'm here to learn more about the SDGs. Yes.
All right. So we are going to talk about everything that. So we are going to make sure that whatever thing you've raised up, we are going to make sure we tackle it in one way or the other. And I can tell you one thing, that the facilitators here today are equipped and ready to share that is something that's really affecting most of us. The skills that we are lacking to better our initiatives, to magnify our change in the communities, to equip us better even to expand our initiatives, you know. So all this, they're going to give us the background knowledge, how best you can do this, what opportunities can you work with, you know. So it's a number of things that we are going to tackle today, and trust me, you've made the best decision to be here today. Yeah. So I think I can invite my president, Mr. Laban, again. Yes.
Thank you, Jemba. Okay. Thank you, Jemba. So I believe now we're going to start our program. But in a nutshell, of course, we cannot begin without, you know, hearing from our hosts. So it's at this juncture that we'd like to have someone from the Innovation Village, at least to come and say a word, and then we can hear from him, and then we see how we can proceed. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the village. We used to say it takes a village to raise a child. Today we say it takes a village to raise a startup or a solution. And for today we'll be going with it takes a village to achieve a sustainable development goal, at least one of those, yeah? I'm called Sankara Abyaruhanga. I'm the new community manager for the Innovation Village, Western Uganda. And we are very happy to host you all around. When you were introducing yourselves, it all sounded like, okay, we are solving these challenges here and there. It's an opportunity that we are talking about SDGs, which I think is a framework that, you know, lists or earmarks all challenges that we face here in Uganda and globally. And the people to solve them, of course, is me and you. From zero hunger to partnerships that will allow us to achieve the goals. Now, the Innovation Village is here to, first of all, sustain and also support people like you who are trying to solve for these challenges. And we do that through empowering, we do that through building and also financing. It has been around for some time, though a little bit more active in the central. In Mbarara here, of course, it has been also around. Some of you, I won't call you beneficiaries, but at least we have been, working together in one way or another. Now, it's a new agenda, it's a new whole thing that we are kind of trying to bring to Mbarara. When you see the digital economy program, I heard some of us are into tech. And also, of course, we believe that tech now is an enabler, or it contributes, to solving the challenges we will be talking about in the SDGs. Now, this program is launching in this region around July, and anyone really in tech, anyone thinking technology can solve any of the problem and under any SDG, will be working together when that time comes, in the interest of time. Now, we also have Motive, Making the Future. Those of us who have been in Kampala, this has been running, and it's coming to Western Uganda also. We've a little bit kind of started around. Here we are, Motive in full is makers of the Innovation Village. We are celebrating makers. What are you making? We had a number of people here say, for instance, he's making fertilizers. Exactly, and feeds and whatever. So him and you and the rest of us that are making stuff, this should be your other program. Quite a lot of opportunities coming through, from funding opportunities to showcasing to trading to all these opportunities that one will be, enjoying. So mine is a simple one to welcome you for this morning discussion. I only think and hope that it's going to be very fruitful. I liked when my colleague was tasking them already, where have we reached, where are we, what needs to be done, how can we contribute, all those I believe can actually come out in tonight's talk. To remind you also that later today in the evening, we are introducing what we called Wednesday Strategy Wars. So we believe that, for instance, to solve SDGs, it takes strategy, it takes thinking, it takes creativity. So we are introducing Wednesday nights for here in Mbarara for people to come through here, think through, strategize, have solutions, but through games. We have a number of games, brain games, chess, draft, cards, video games. But alongside that, we will be doing, some pitching, a little bit of hack. We could introduce a problem, for instance, and say we have hunger, and SDG, is it one that seeks to achieve zero hunger or no poverty or something? Can we have a solution, for instance, from you? And then teams can always suggest solutions and a little bit, use just 1 minute to present their solution. So all that is happening tonight here. We will also have a live band performance right here. It's a free event, you don't have to pay. For people who enjoy some beer, yeah, we will also have some here. And it's a really realize, think straight, but yes, we believe that it's through those networking opportunities that you actually could share here and there. We remember most of the strategic kind of talk is often done, if we come back to the African culture, was done maybe along a fireside talk, or it's they are sharing some beer, and they are sharing ideas. So it's a big night. I invite you all tonight to come through the village. A lot more will be shared about us, but particularly for this Thank you very much for showing up, and I hope that this will actually go a long way to triggering your mind into solving for sustainable development goals. Unless anyone has really a question around the Innovation Village, we are just happy to receive you.
They're here, all right? But are you happy that you're here? I see faces are dull, some are sad. Didn't you eat? Did we have supper? Because breakfast is ready. You see, people have started getting something. So let's have these smiles. For some of you look so beautiful, but gloomy, like sad. I fear being with people who are so sad. I love working with people who are always smiling, people who are happy, you know? So, get to know each other. Who are you seated with? I saw these ones are all from my village, Wirizi. You're welcome. But I would love for you guys to sit with people you don't know, because we're going to be sharing knowledge. Skilling is not about you getting to know only one thing that you know. All right? When you come to a workshop like this, we expect you to have more knowledge about other things that people know more, such that it can help you in future. You see? The best way for you to better yourself is by knowledge, empowering yourself. So SDGs have come to empower you. From us is going to help you to better yourself. Of course, before the financial bit comes in to help you, because we're going to support you there. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give you back to our president. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Will. Okay, so first of all, I'm happy and delighted that you have managed to make it here tonight. So we shall have some presentations from, of course, the Office of the Prime Minister. We shall have some presentations from Uganda. We shall have some presentations from Dependable Youth, Dependable Foundation. I think that will help us inform the discussion. We shall also be in position to, at least maybe in the afternoon session, be in position to give an opportunity to someone or some people in the audience that would like to present their innovations. I know there are very many people here who like to present. So if you know you have I saw someone on email trying to say they have a presentation. I don't know if she's here. Please reach out to the secretariat, to the registration table. If you know you have a presentation or something, reach out to the table there. There's a lady called Dina. Dina, where are you? Say hello. Aha, that's Dina there. And make sure you reach out and have your presentation. So as we had agreed, we're going to have a working breakfast. So I think, allow me maybe take this opportunity, though I feel, I really feel bad that we have not prayed. We didn't start with a prayer. I don't know if it's the right thing, but do we have a volunteer just for a minute to just pray for us? Come. At least you pray for us, and we begin at least with, at least.
Let me give her, she can pray from here.
Oh yes, oh yes, Will is there.
Thank you very much. Let's humble ourselves and pray. And a sign of honor, let's the gift of life that you have given unto us. We thank you for this program that has come in Western Uganda. As we gather here, King of Glory, come and be amidst us. Come and take over whatever we're going to do. Let this meeting not be in vain. Let us speak exactly what we are supposed to speak. And as we're going to have our breakfast, we sanctify it with the blood of Jesus. Let it bring nourishment. We pray for those that have prepared it to be blessed. And when all is done, the glory and honor is given to your Son. In the mighty name of Jesus, we prayed and believed.
But I think she deserves really a mighty hand clap. Okay, so it's at this moment and juncture, maybe you can allow me, I will have to invite some of our speakers. I know in the next maybe 2 to 3 minutes, they will come and be joining us here in the front. We shall have someone from Office of the Prime Minister. We shall have someone from Uganda. We shall have someone from Dependable Foundation. So I'm thinking that by now they should be preparing themselves to come. But for those people who have just come right now, tonight we are here. I'm called Laban, Musinguzi Laban Joshua, but I prefer to be called Laban. I'm the president of the Youth Coalition for SDGs. This is a platform for youth and youth-led organizations that are doing work in relation to the sustainable in attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. So the Youth Coalition for SDGs was started in 2019 under the Office of the Prime Minister, specifically under the National SDG Secretariat and the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, to make sure at least we align what the work of youth are doing and to make sure that we can categorize and, put in line and have a one voice towards achieving this agenda 2030. So we work in clusters. We have thematic areas, definitely. So we have some thematic areas in thematic area in gender. We have entrepreneurship. We have sports for development. So in entrepreneurship, you go ahead and look at categorizing the youth into various pillars. Of course, informing the National Development Plan. We have pillars like commercial agriculture. Personally, I'm a farmer. I saw some of you people saying farming, farming, farming. That's a good thing you do. I'm an urban farmer. I own a company called AgroFresh Uganda. We deal in just fresh food. So, ndaguze nyanya, umuruchiga niko barajira. I'm just a small guy who just sells tomatoes. So, but I do urban farming, backyard farming. I also do greenhouse farming. So that is in commercial agriculture. Then we also categorize people in industrialization and manufacture. And then we also categorize people in innovation or ICT, like you can call it. Then the services sector as well, and the public sector. So we basically follow what the nation or the plans of developing this country so that we can inform, as we all know that youth are 70% of the population, right? So how do we inform and make sure that we have one voice that can lead to policy change, policy advocacy, what I normally call meaningful participation. And we would also like to understand that youth shouldn't be a vehicle of, sometimes we have seen people coming in. I know there are very many programs like this, running around, doing everything, but we would like specifically in SDG number 16, which says, 17, which is strong partnerships for the goals. Okay. When I was elected as president, one of my goals were, or in my manifesto, I promised the youth of the coalition that I would make timely connections, timely and genius connections. So I believe that we should leave this position today when you have made at least more than one connection. And it must be timely and must be genius. Then I promised that we shall be in position to avail opportunities through funding opportunities, capacity buildings, trainings. So I really would like to appreciate mostly the National SDG Secretariat through the Office of the Prime Minister and also other development partners that have made this happen. It is an opportunity, it's a safe space for the young people with innovations to make sure that we can come together and build the nation together. We have a guarantee as young people. We may live 10, 15 years, 20 years, okay? However, there are some other people who don't have the guarantee to live for even more than 5 years. So it means that we are the Uganda of tomorrow. But how do you want to see the Uganda of tomorrow? This agenda goes up to 2030. And this is just 2023. So in other words, we are into the mid-term review. We are into, if it were to be an assessment, you're saying if you're moving a journey of 10 kilometers, you have moved 5 kilometers. What have we done? What have we achieved? Where are we heading? Are we sure we're even going to manage to achieve these goals by 2030? Because we would have been, in the roadmap, we know that now we are into the decade of action. I hope everyone understands English though. But we can proceed with the English language, right?
Mr. President.
Yes.
We can do Kasavu Kanyama because we all know English came on a boat. So we can.
We are the people in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Facilitators are ready to come here, but I believe we shall give facilitators are ready to come here, but I believe we shall give them some more time. And I don't take this for granted that at least some of you who have been approached through mail, through whatever way you have come here. Also very important to keep the integrity. It is also very important to be patient. It's also very important to have a projection. Where are you going in the next 10 years? That's why people have agendas. That's why even the world cannot move without an agenda. That's why the country has a national development plan. So do you have a plan? So we are here to make sure that we work with you, we build your plans together. You know, we have that mentality. Kanokantu kange. Make a thing. None of you is reinventing the wheel here today. I can assure you, whatever you're thinking in your head has been either thought about, implemented. So you're not the first guy or the first chick, to do this, okay? Please, let's share ideas. Let's stop being, they call it what? Selfish. Because through partnerships, trust me, you can achieve 100 times more than, they call it the 10x. I don't know if some of you guys follow a gentleman called Grant Cardone, something like that. He has the 10x thing. So if you want to come here today and you have come with an idea, we must understand, are you being compliant with the government laws? Do you even need to register whatever idea you have as a company, as a business? Are you paying taxes if you're that level? Is your innovation protected? Can we come up with policies or discussions here? Because we all know that in June, on 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we're going to have the second annual National SDG Conference in Serena. Is it an opportunity for you today to make sure that you are among the selected young people in Western region to go and represent your region at Serena? This now we're talking about meaningful participation. We're talking about hearing the voice of the young people at national level. We have gotten opportunities through, Secretariat, through, other development partners. See, with SDGs, they have various, as we shall be explained to by the Office of the Prime Minister, there are various technical working groups that sit probably once every quarter. We get an opportunity to meet and sit in these meetings. But if we don't have your views, it becomes hard for some people to implement. We don't expect people to sit down and start. This is where we were sometime, and someone was cautioning. If we have a minister in charge of the youth, is that minister youth? We have youth members of parliament. Have we seen youth-friendly, eco-friendly laws coming up in parliament? So this is what we're talking about. Right now there's a citizens parliament going on with our colleagues that we have been here for 3 days. Yesterday, I don't know if some of you managed to hear the band in town. It was a people's festival. We kept moving. We are planting trees. Let's conserve the environment, members. So I will still be with you because I'm moderating this session. Allow me to take this opportunity to invite our speakers, our presenters to come in front. I will first of all begin with the lady, Hope. She will tell you who she is, but she's also a member of the... You'll come in front and sit. We shall be expecting you to sit as you wait for other members also to come. She will tell you who she is, and I'm sure you'll hear very interesting things about her. So Hope, kindly come and take your seat in front. I also would like to invite Charles, Pasco. You come and take your seats, and so that we can begin the program. But I hope someone is taking something. It's a working breakfast. You take something. If you've not managed to go to take something to eat, please manage to get something to eat, because we are beginning our program. Try as much as possible to be very attentive, to be very interactive, so that we can ask questions. And we expect you to go back to your communities and be change agents. We expect you to be in position to open up yourselves for more opportunities when you're here. Like I said, we shall be changing. I know some of you, I saw you when you are coming. You are friends, you are again sitting together. We are in interaction. We are going to change positions anytime. So don't be so comfortable where you're seated. Isawa yonna omusajja akyuka. Isawa yonna akola ki? So yeah, we shall begin, of course, with our presentations. And it's at this moment, maybe Will, you'll help me move that microphone, maybe here, so that we can hear from Mr. Byarugaba as he's trying to fix up. But now we are beginning. Katuchitandise ekintu. Kati mbadde mbasaba. Omanyi there is where we were, and there was a discussion going on and someone was eating sugar cane. So they asked them, did you hear what they were talking about? The man said, so as you are eating, make sure at least you can hear. So that you don't have to. So, we can maybe, yeah, it's coming on. Thank you. I think we can have someone help us with this. Okay. I think it has gone off. Can we maybe have some technical assistance with the projector? But in the meantime, maybe Pascal, you could take it up. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. You okay? But some are seated. Have you had breakfast? Because breakfast is compulsory, so we expect each one of you to pick at least a banana. You might not pick the entire cocktail, but please pick something so that we fight hunger. So good morning once again. I want to pray that the breakfast or the meal will not distract some of you, and I request that you sit while facing the front. The definition of the front being myself, because some of you might say my front is that side, my front is the other. The front is this side. So I request that each one of you looks this side while you're having your egg and your bananas. So my name is Pascal Byarugaba. I work with the National SDG Secretariat, Sustainable Development Goals Secretariat, in the Office of the Prime Minister. And we are glad to have all of you here. Some of you have trekked from other districts to Mbarara City, so you are most welcome to Mbarara City. My role here is to briefly tell you about these SDGs, because I know in the invitation, even when you're applying, they told you it's a skills building workshop. So I don't want to go far away from that, but I also strongly believe that what I'm going to talk about is part of skills building, because I am pretty sure that possibly some of the things I'm going to talk about, maybe some of you have not interfaced with them. So you are most welcome to Mbarara City. I don't know if there is anyone who is from another district and had never reached in Mbarara City. So if there is anyone, congratulations. You know? Yes, congratulations. So who can confidently tell me about the 17 SDGs? Let me go with this one. Who has, yes, 17 SDGs.
Hello, my name is Faith Donatilla, and the first one is no poverty. Second one, zero hunger.
You're reading. You don't want to read.
I noted them down.
I don't read. You have failed the exam. Next.
I'm Gerard Chiza from Covoid. Yeah, according to me, the 17 SDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals, is the global initiative.
No. Mention, there are 17. I want, number 1 is this.
Number 1
number 2 is this.
No poverty. Number 2, zero hunger. Number 3, health and well-being. Number 4, quality education. Number 5, gender equality. And I've failed the order.
Okay, you come here. And that lady should come as well. Yes. Come and stand here. And I'm going to give lunch to anyone. I know Laban is providing us lunch, but anyone who, yes, is here.
Good morning, everyone.
Is there any other one? Only 2. Any other person? Because I know they might not get it. So I want to give a chance to any other one person. The third one. Okay,
Good.
It seems there are only 2. Okay, so start.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Naruko Agonaswira. I'm a volunteer at Uganda Red Cross Society, Mbara branch. The sustainable development goals that I'm really familiar with and I've worked projects with.
You're competing for the money.
Yeah. So number 1 is zero poverty. That sustainable development goal 1 advocates for us all.
Just mention.
Zero poverty, zero hunger, and I also know sustainable development goal number 13, which is combat climate change. I just know 3. Thank you.
Do you want to try again, Caesar? Please. I know you have been Googling. You know? No. Try again.
My issue is the order. Okay, number 1, no poverty. Number 2, zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Number 4, quality education. Number 5, gender equality. Number 6, life on water and land. Number 6.
Anyone who can try the last opportunity.
Nango mutwalo gubalemye. Let me come there. Naye Chair, I'm seeing some people are bako pebibuzo. Hey, you come.
Whereas she's reading on phone, but let her come. I could see she's already reading on phone.
You have forgotten already.
All right, I'm just going to try. Number 1, no hunger. Number 1, no poverty. Number 2, zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Number 4, quality education. Number 5, gender equality. Number 6, oh my God.
You're almost getting there.
Number 6.
10,000.
Good. Number 6, water and sanitation. Number 7,
You are remaining with 2.
num-
You're already on 8,000. So you are remaining with 2,002.
number 7,
Yes, number 7.
energy.
Energy.
Energy,
You are very sure?
yes.
Okay, number 8.
Number 8,
You need, it's like when you are making press-ups, eh? They say you do 20. So by the time you reach 17, eh? Number 8, the 10,000, you now have 9,000, by the way.
number 8.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay. Time off. 1 minute.
Oh my God. Number 8,
Time off.
clean energy.
Okay. But I can give you.
Okay.
So, thank you very much. One of the reasons we are here, if I can go to... One of the reasons we are here, we are doing what we call globalizing the SDGs. I know this is not an English word, but we are getting the SDGs from the global discussion, the global scale, to the local scale. To us in Mbarara City, to whoever is coming from, is Gerard here? There's a gentleman called Gerard from Isinjiro. Has he come? Laban, you need to make a call to that gentleman from Isinjiro. Find out if he's here. So we want to localize the SDGs in short. So we usually use this term of localizing. So we get, because some of you think the SDGs are from New York, and they are possibly still seated there, or they are still seated in Kampala. So if that has been your thinking, so we want to get the SDGs from wherever they are, wherever you think they are, to Mbarara, to this innovation village where we are currently. So that's one of the reasons we are here. But 2, we also want to identify and work with some of you as SDG champions. But you see, you cannot be a champion. You know, in football, for you to be a football champion, to take a Champions trophy, Champions League trophy, it means, you know football in short. So for you to be a champion, then you should be knowing about the SDGs. And knowing starts by you knowing the 17 SDGs, you know, and from fingertips. I know some of you know the SDGs that other SDGs. So I will come back to this later. So I will just give an evolution of how the SDGs came into place, and I will take a short time because I can see we have started late and want to finish a bit early. I also want to talk about the principles of the 2030 agenda, the dimensions of the SDGs. Someone said they have an expectation of knowing where we are as Uganda in regards to SDG progress, but I also want to talk about the skilling workshop. Why are we here? But I've already started with that. So before I go into my slides, one important thing is to know is that as the Office of the Prime Minister, we are charged with coordinating implementation, monitoring, and reporting of SDGs in Uganda. So what that means, and we are starting with the word coordination, because the anticipation and the thinking is that every one of you every ministry, every local government, every civil society, every enterprise, every business, every bank, every whichever, all of them are implementing SDGs. And I need you to have that appreciation moving forward, that whatever you are doing every day, you are implementing SDGs, either positively or negatively, you know. Therefore, our work as Office of the Prime Minister is to coordinate, to know, one, who is doing what, how are they doing it, and how are they contributing eventually to the achievement of the SDGs, how are they linking their work to the national development priorities or plans. We are now in National Development Plan 3. I will talk briefly about that. So basically, this is our work. So we bring on board every other stakeholder that has something to do with SDGs. And like I've already said, it means everyone is doing something on the SDGs. So you are a stakeholder. So don't think when we talk of stakeholder, we are inviting the cow, the LC5, and so on. So last year, we started an initiative which we call the SDG Conference. So the SDG Conference, it is to bring together different players, like I've already said, that have an interest and are doing something in regards to SDGs, to come together to reflect together and see how are we doing as a government, as partners, how are we doing in regards to the SDGs. So it started last year. So this year we are having our second annual SDG conference in Kampala on June 22nd to 23rd at Serena. I know some of you possibly have seen the links, but you will definitely see them now that you are going to be among the cohort of champions that are driving the 2030 agenda and the SDGs in Western region. So this conference is preceded by, I heard some of you are university students, some of you are graduates, so I hope my English is very simple. Is preceded by regional activities. The regional activities started yesterday where we had a walk in town. Some of you possibly could have possibly saw or even participated. We planted some trees around. Today we have a citizens' parliament. It's taking place. It's starting at Independence Park. But also today we are also having this engagement, this discussion. We are here to exchange some ideas and some views, to learn from us, but also to learn from you, especially on what you're exactly doing. So tomorrow, which is the third day, we shall be at Hotel Triangle, some of you who know it, and we have invited leaders from 16 districts in this region, from Rwenzori, Ankole, and Chigezi, district LC5 chairpersons, chief administrative officers, and the district planners to talk about the development of the region. You understand what I'm saying? And that will be tomorrow. So you can see it's a build-up. So by the time we finish, by the end of tomorrow, our expectation is that we shall have collected some views, we shall have learned what is happening in this region, we shall have collected some recommendations that are coming from you, that are coming from the discussions tomorrow, and then all that will form what we call the outcome document that will also inform the national conference. That we've been in Imbarara, we've met so and so, this is what they are saying, this is what they are doing, these are the challenges, this is what they are recommending, you know? So that's what we are doing from yesterday up to tomorrow. So basically that's why we are here. And we shall do this here in Imbarara, we shall do it in Jinja next week, Jinja City, we shall do it in Mubende for Central Region, and we shall do it for Lira for Northern Uganda. You now have some bit of background of why we are here, why we are doing this. But specifically, why we are doing this, I had already told you, we are localizing the SDGs. We are telling you that actually the SDGs are not for OPM, the SDGs are for you, and you have a stake in the SDGs. Then two, we want to know what you're doing. I know most of you applied through a link, which was, who applied through a link? Which was put up. Okay, the links are few. Who of you was selected or given a call to come? Let's say either by the counselor said, you come, you are my friend, please come. Okay, there are also few. So some of you who were not invited to be here? Yeah? So some of you were not invited to be here. You don't know how you came, eh? Because there were two approaches: the link and invitation through our leaders. So Google Map, okay, we shall sort that out. But eventually our interest is we want to know who is doing what in this region. Of course, we have not reached everybody, but our link was to accept applications from everybody else in this region. So long as we are doing something, we said it is youth skills building workshop, and we are targeting youth in innovation and technology for development. So when we say technology or innovation, we are not talking about IT. You know, there is also that thinking of technology or innovation is about IT. If I am not doing anything related to IT, then it's not. I had someone is doing pads. That's an innovation already. And they are doing something on SDG 3. So we are targeting these young people. And why are we targeting them? Because one, we want to know you. We know what you're doing. But as a government, we are also working with other partners, especially the private sector, the civil society organizations, the UN. Sometimes they be asking us, do you have you work with young people in SDGs. Who can we support? Who are they? What are they doing? You get what I mean? So we want to have what I can call a database, and we are starting from today. Some of the facilitators will be telling you that they are sending you a link where you will need to put some additional information. For instance, what is your name, your age, your gender, district of origin, your contacts, the name of the institution or enterprise, whatever you call it, you are coming from. Are you the founder? When did it start? How many people are you employing? You get what I mean? So that we can, when they say we are looking for someone doing this, then you just run there. Of course, we know it is small, but like I said, we are starting. So let me go to the gist of the matter. So some of you made an attempt. Kiza, you made someone at my 10K, but she didn't get 100%, but you got a distinction, possibly. So you need to know about these SDGs. Starting today, we are supposed to have some leaflets, but unfortunately, I don't know where they are. But you need to know about the SDGs for many reasons. One, you are doing something about the SDGs. Two, you are still young and you are growing professionally. Tomorrow you'll be in the UN, you'll be in the government, and therefore you need to know about this. Me, I know about Millennium Development Goals, I know about the SDGs, because that's what I do. But even you, since maybe next time you'll be employing many people, you are a CEO, so you need to be on top of the game. You get what I mean? Some of you, tomorrow you'll be an ambassador, tomorrow you'll be a youth leader, you'll be an MP, you'll be a commissioner. So it is very important that you understand these things. It is a given that you have to understand them. I know some of us, the young people, sometimes we take our lives a bit loose. We don't care. Care in terms of many things, but also we don't care in terms of acquiring new knowledge. We feel if I have finished university, I need to get a job, but really, do you even need to know, do you know how to write a CV? Because that is very important. You are looking for a job. Yes, we have Nile breweries here. They are waiting for employees. We have very many factories, Coca-Cola, Rato. They are waiting for employees, but are you able to speak? If they said we have given you a position of marketing manager. So all those things, we might not cover them here, but what I'm saying is that it's up to you. You know, some of you who knew the motto of Uganda Telecom, they would say it's all about you. So don't sit back and say, oh, it is government is not doing enough, government is not doing enough. The truth is, government cannot feed you. That's the truth. And I think most of us know about this. Government will put in place policies that facilitate you to do better businesses. You get what I mean? But you will not see government coming here with money to give you, even when it is PDM, they will say, okay, you take the money, but you're taking it as a loan, you know? So, in short, what I'm saying, let's not expect free things. Since you are doing something, since you are leaders, since you're working, let's be somehow different from the other cohorts of young leaders who sit back and expect just free things. Even if they are your parents and they see you as their child and you are not innovative, you are not encouraging, they get frustrated somehow. You know what I mean? So let's be in a position to look out, to learn more, get interested in knowing what is going on. Watch news, read newspapers, go online instead of just WhatsApp, read productive things. You get what I mean? So it is very important to have that kind of overview as we aspire to change this world, as we aspire to be great, great leaders. So the SDGs started in 2015. They succeeded the Millennium Development Goals. I don't want to put a test on MDGs because I know some of you have totally no idea about the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, which started in 2000. I know even if I put 50,000, no one will tell me 5 goals or 2. But there were 8 goals of the Millennium Development Goals. It started in 2000 up to 2015. So it was also an agenda for 15 years. The Millennium Development Goals largely focused on the developing economies, the developing countries like Uganda. They did not focus much on countries like America, countries like Canada, countries like Germany, because those ones are regarded as developed economies. But the SDGs, which started in 2015 up to 2030, they are 17 in number, they focus on both countries, if there were 2, developing and developed. So all the countries, all the member states that subscribe to the UN have a duty and a call to take action, to be responsible to whatever that happens globally, within their own countries, but also what happens to the neighboring countries, but also what happens to the other countries in other continents. So it's a responsibility for every country to implement the SDGs. So that's one of the biggest difference from the MDGs to the SDGs. When the SDGs were being adopted in 2015 in September, during a session which we call the UN General Assembly. Have some of you heard of that? UN General Assembly. I know some of you are going to work in the UN, and that's why I keep emphasizing some of those things. You are going to work in government, but you are running enterprises, you are CEOs, so you need to. So the UN General Assembly, it is the way you see our Kacheves here, the mayor, having a council. Of course, for them, they usually have it very frequently. The UN General Assembly takes place once a year in September. And it brings together all the presidents of the member states that subscribe to the UN. There are 193 states, you can decide to call them countries, that subscribe to the UN Charter. So the UN Charter comprises of all those members. So when you are a member, then it means you can have or you can host the UN in your country. So that's why you see these UN agencies, UNHCR, WHO, UNICEF, UNDP, UN Women, UNFPA, UNACTAD, UNCDF, quite many of them, all of them being hosted by the government of Uganda, because Uganda is a member of the UN. I hope we are clicking. Yes. And there are 195 countries in the world. So I need you to go later on during your break or when you go back home to know which other 2 countries that are not members of the UN. You get it? I don't want to tell them to tell you from here. So it means almost every country in the world subscribes to the UN. So during that time, during the General Assembly in September, Uganda held the presidency. Uganda was the president of the UN. So of course you know the technical head of the UN is the Secretary General. So but the Secretary General is usually supervised by a number of bodies including the president. So that time Uganda held the presidency. Some of you know Honorable Sam Kutesa. So in 2015 he was the president of the UN. And that presidency is a rotational position held for only 1 year. So what that means is that during that General Assembly, which you can equate a council of your district of the city, the president of Uganda was the chair of the session that adopted the 2030 agenda. It's called the 2030 agenda because it is being implemented from 2015 to 2030. So they are 15 years. So we call it the 2030 agenda. So this agenda, as it was being adopted, the intention was, one, to ensure prosperity for people, to ensure peace, protect the planet, and to eradicate poverty. So those were the core 4 things that were behind the SDGs. So when you look at the SDGs, they are put in themes or thematic areas on prosperity, on people, on peace, on planet, and also on partnerships, which represent goal number 17. So, MDGs were 8 in number. So when the SDGs were going to be adopted in 2015, there was an assessment, country assessments, but also global assessments, see how the Millennium Development Goals had been achieved. And in the ranking, some of the goals, the current SDG goals, which were partly part of the Millennium Development Goals, were categorized as unfinished business. And some of the goals are including goal number 1 on no poverty, goal number 2 on no hunger, goal number 3, goal number 5, and among others. So all these goals were categorized as unfinished business during the Millennium Development Goals. But we also see some new areas, because the MDGs were 8 in number, so some of the areas or some of the goals we see under SDGs were less pronounced during the MDGs. And so some of the new areas, for instance, goal number 6 on water and sanitation, we see goal number 7 on energy, sustainable energy, goal number 8 on economic growth and employment, goal number 9 on resilient infrastructure and innovation, and I think goal number 10 and 11. Goal number 10 is about reducing inequalities, and goal number 10 is safe urban settlements. So goal number 11 is about cities, towns, municipalities, town councils, etc. But we also see that there is a great emphasis on the green agenda, which was not the case during the MDGs, because during the MDGs it was only one goal, goal number 7, which was talking about environmental sustainability, which encompassed all the goals on climate action, life on land, water and sanitation. So during the SDGs, we see emphasis on the green agenda, starting from goal number 12 up to goal number 15. Goal number 12 talks about sustainable consumption and production. What that means is that while Mbarara City, while your district where you're coming from, while Uganda is aspiring to grow, to create more jobs, to increase the tax base through increasing exportation. For you to export, it means you are producing. For you to produce, it means you have factories, meaning you are industrializing. So goal number 12 says, okay, we recognize that. That needs to happen. But you need to do it in a sustainable way. You get what I mean? So while you're putting up factories, Ugandans or many of your people to be in the business so that they can earn income, to increase tax base by importing some of the things, and URA is taxing whoever is importing, we need to import things that have some long lifespan. So that is about number 12. So from 12 to 15, number 12 to 13 is about climate action, number 14 is life underwater. So wherever you see a river, wherever you see a lake, wherever you hear an ocean, because I know some of you might not have seen oceans. So wherever you hear an ocean, in geography, wherever we studied these things from, know that SDG number 14 is about that, life under water. Number 15 is about life on land. Deforestation, afforestation. In simple, that is what it is talking about. So it is talking about the rate at which Uganda is losing the forest cover, the rate at which we are doing reforestation. So SDG number 15 is about that. So those are those are the goals that emphasize the aspirations that were behind the SDGs, that there was need to have a strong focus on the green agenda. Then goal number 16 and goal number 17, 16 was somehow there in the MDGs era under goal number 8 at the time, which was on partnerships. But now there was also need to make it stand alone because it is a very important aspect for the citizens. So goal number 16 is about peace. Strong institutions, just and strong institutions, police, the judiciary. So it's all those are talking about, all those are under goal number 16. And goal number 18, goal number 17, which is on partnerships. The thinking beyond, rather about this is that none of you can exist alone. The government cannot do everything alone. We need the private sector, we need development partners, we need UN agencies, we need social organizations, we need the citizens. So that's why, or that's what the goal number 17 emphasizes. So like I had said, so during that time, our president was the chair of the session that adopted this agenda, and that was his statement. I don't want to read it. Some of you are reading it. Who is in Red Cross, like I can see many friends from Red Cross, who is employed, who is a youth counselor, who is a leader. This goal, or rather this principle says you have a responsibility. So whereas you might be pointing a finger at myself, or at me, please know that the rest of the fingers are pointing at you. So that is what this goal is talking about, rather the principle is talking about, shared responsibility. What this means, you have a stake in this. So don't go there and start thinking the mayor is the one responsible for cleanliness in this city. Yes, maybe it's because he's an elected leader. But you also have a responsibility of not littering. Isn't that your responsibility? So if you want to be a champion, there are some basic things that will be expected of you. If you are in a bus in Global going to Kampala now through Sembabule, not Katonga, please don't throw bottles, empty bottles and velas outside through windows. You get? Because when you're throwing that bottle and the polythene paper bag outside, does it occur to you that there is no one who will eventually collect these things? So some of you who have lived around in Bara, when you go to River Ruiz, you see the cocktail of bottles that are in that river. I know the government and them have been trying to make an effort to remove them. But some of you have gone that side of Bulemba, leave around this river here. There is that side of Bulemba when you go beyond Bishop Stewart and you go that side of Bulemba, where there is the NFA. The amount of bottles you find in that river, you get bothered. And so, I mean, there is no track of bottles that was taken and emptied from there. These bottles, every one of us has thrown a bottle which has found itself in that river. You know? So it is a responsibility. So it's not, so when you go there, you're like, hey, Mayor, you are not doing enough. Nema, what are you doing? But what have you been doing? So is it your responsibility to throw bottles so that you call upon Nemas to come and collect them? So the government, of course, has a responsibility of finding out possible innovations that possibly can reduce the polythene bags and the many bottles. That's on the side of government, through our MPs to go in parliament and say, we are putting a ban on ABCD. But while we are waiting for that, also let's take responsibility. I think it's good practice, you know, so that we stop, you know, picking on the president is not doing enough, my MP is not doing enough, the LC5 is not. So first ask yourself, what are you doing? Isn't it a very good question? On SDGs, and like we said, SDGs is about everything. How you relate with your neighbor. Some of you have girlfriends and boyfriends. Are you fighting at this stage? If you're fighting at this stage, what will happen 20 years later in your marriage? That's because we're talking about peace. You are distorting someone's peace, you know? Gender things. Goal number 10, reducing inequalities. So there is a responsibility. You get what I mean? So I know in this era we are in, we are about government. And that's why I said, you are young people. You need to have some new thinking. These other countries are leaving us. For us, we are here. We are waiting for government is not doing enough. If you are doing an innovation, why can't you put your energy there? Collaborate with other colleagues that are surrounding you who have a skill that you don't have. Work together. and create something that can employ more people, that can bring you income, but can also bring income to government. Laban was already saying, some of us have enterprises, but when you hear of an opportunity, you don't want to work with your colleagues, you don't want to share. Some of you are Christians, you know, even if you don't share, believers, all of us, I know even in the Muslim faith, there is that belief. Sharing is good. Isn't it? So if you don't share opportunities, it's not that when you learn of it and you go there, you will eventually, no, God is seeing. So please share and learn how to work together. We are not talking about God 17. Then there, you will grow. This mindset of that everyone can be an innovator, everyone can be an entrepreneur. In my personal, this is not whatever OPM, but my personal feeling is that that is also not right. That everyone go out and innovate. No, 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 no. It is not possible that every one of you will have a company. Is it possible? No. So if it's not possible, start looking at that. If you have worked on something for 5 years, it's not working. You are not having income. You are not even able to pay rent in Kakoba where you stay. So you look around, some of your colleagues. You say, I have this skill. Can we work together? This is how these companies have survived. Some of you know the philosophies of how the Indian companies thrive. They thrive because of that. They are run as family businesses. But some of us, our parents, your parents had businesses, but you don't even know what is taking place in those businesses. And the moment that you go, we don't know what is. So we need to partner together. So for me, it should be a new message, a new skill to you as you go back later, that you need to work together. Not each one of you can be an innovator. Is that thinking? Yes. The other, I don't want to talk about others, but I want to talk about the principle number 3, leave no one behind. This principle is about goal number 10. Goal number 10 is about reducing inequalities. So what it says is that the developed economies, America, Germany, like I said, all those countries that we know as developed, it's also up to them to make an effort to ensure that they reduce the gaps, development gaps, poverty gaps, among them and among the other developing countries, like especially those in Africa. But even at the national level, it's upon the government to ensure that we reduce inequalities in the different regions. Karamoja, Western Uganda, the North, Busoga. So we need to have that kind of balanced development. While we are crying that America is too developed far beyond than Uganda, the Karamajongs are equally crying that Imbarara is more developed than Karamoja. Isn't that an issue? And therefore we have to be very mindful, because if Karamoja is not stable, then Uganda is not stable. I think you know that. So we cannot cherish in the fact that for us in Western Uganda we are okay. You see, when you are not okay, when you go to Kampala, when you go to Northern Uganda, when they post you to Moroto to work for Post Bank, to work with whichever institution, you will have it rough. You get what I mean? So it should be upon us that we advocate for equality. We advocate for inclusiveness. That principle is about that. So it's about everything, and it's across all the goals. Poverty, health, everything. It also goes to people. Even women, we know they are somehow compromised in government. When we are developing these national development funds, we usually use the term of vulnerable groups. And most times they put youth number 1, that the youth are vulnerable. Do you accept that you are vulnerable? But it's a term all of us use. Vulnerable groups, people with disabilities, youth, women, elderly, all these are vulnerable. I don't know in which, whatever, but they usually say we are vulnerable. I don't know what that means. But this principle is about reducing all of that, to ensure that there is, of course Karamoja may not develop at an equal rate like Kampala. But we are saying if Karamoja is supposed to be at a particular level of development in 2025, let it be there. Let us not be in 2025 and then Karamoja is still in, you know, in Ethiopia, I don't know which year they are in now in Ethiopia. For them, they count, you might find now they are like in 1996 in Ethiopia. Are you aware, some of you? Of course, they were not colonized, so they have their own culture and what. So for them, they are in like many years beyond us. For us, we are waiting for 2024, but for them, they are like waiting for now, like 1999, for them to reach. So while we are in 2025, let Karamoja not be in 2000. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So these are the dimensions of the SDGs, the society, the biosphere, and the economy. And those are the goals in those thematic areas or in those categories. And some of you, if you are interested, I will give Laban this slide so that he can share with all of us, because it is a public document. I prepared it while I've earned the salary from OPM, so it is your money that has actually prepared this presentation. So it means this is your this is your property. But you don't own me, you own the So the SDGs and the 2030 agenda are not a project or a program. I know some of us usually say, so you confuse the two. So the SDGs or the 2030 agenda are not what? A project, are not a program. They are not like the way you hear PDM, that's a government program. They are not like Operation Wealth Creation. They are not like Youth Livelihood Program. They are not like Myoga. And they are not like those projects to implement in your institutions when you have got funding from whichever donor. So they are not a project. Is it okay? So some of you who didn't know about the SDGs, they are there. But I will, like I said, I will share. So goal number 1, no poverty, 0 hunger, 3 on health, 4 on education, 5 on gender, 6 on water and sanitation, 7 on sustainable energy, 6 on job creation and employment, 9 on infrastructure and innovation, 10 on reducing inequalities, 11 on sustainable cities, safe urban settlements, 13 on climate action, 14 life underwater, 15 life on land, 16, if you just forget, just say peace. Number 16 is about peace, but it's about strong and just institutions, you know. Then number 17 on partnership. So it would be my desire that in the next 1 week, when you get this slide, you know these SDGs, and they are even online. So I even tell people, if you are doing something on SDGs and you are calling yourself an SDG champion in your district, in your village, why don't, instead of going to WhatsApp and whatever, of course that is inevitable, but find some time, go and Google these goals. Then you know them. So that when they give you a chance to speak in your mosque on Friday while they are welcoming people from Kampala or in your church, and you are talking to your people in the village, you are rating these things. You get? I know some of you have been leaders before, you are leaders now, but you see, even when you are talking to people, people need to see some gravitas in you. You get? When you are talking, don't talk as the elderly in the village who doesn't know about the SDGs. So, and that can only happen when you take time to read through, you know? So please go and read them, so that the next time you get an opportunity to address your people in the church, you are saying, please, environment. You give examples of your swamps, wherever, then people will say, I think this should be our next MP. And I know some of you have those aspirations of being LC5 and councillors and so on. So we have the institutional framework, which brings on board all development partners, but also government institutions that we are working with. And as you can see, we also work with young people in this institution framework. I usually have to take like 2 days if I'm talking about these SDGs, but I'm just summarizing because of time. I know my colleagues want to talk about all those other aspects that are that actually made youth apply to come, or possibly made youth be selected to come. But what is important here is that we are working with everybody. So when you are doing something, please don't hesitate to write to the SDG Secretariat. We have a website. We usually write reports that we take to the UN. We usually write reports every year, what we call the SDG Progress Report for Uganda, where we are saying this is what we are doing on SDG 1, this is how we are progressing on SDG 3, these are the challenges on SDG 11, this is what we recommend on SDG 16. So we write a report that covers all this, and that report goes to all the ministries. It reaches local governments, so it's a government report. So it's really a big report, but we also highlight who is doing what in which areas. Because we know as young people, you have been bombarded by very many ideas. You have been bombarded by very many partners who have very good interests for us. But the challenge we've had is that we've lacked, or we failed to have a cohesive platform where when the government says, these are the young people that we are working with, these are the young people that are in innovation. JICA, the Japanese Japan International Cooperation Agency, or Korea, the one of KOICA, or UNDP, or Stanbic Bank, or Equity Bank, all these guys are coming up with incubation centers, youth hubs. I think you have heard of them. So if we can have a database as government and say, UNDP, you want to work with young people, here they are. These are the people we are already working with. These are the areas they are working in. This is the current support we are offering to them. So this is the gap. Don't you think it would be better to work like that? Instead of having all these partners, they come to your village, they are looking for young people in innovation, yes, you are there. Next time UNDP comes, you are there. The next time your Uganda will come, you are there. Equity Bank comes, Stanbic Bank Incubation, you are there. Then it means there are some other people that are being left behind, possibly. One, maybe you are connected to the mayor, or you are connected to an MP. You get what I mean? So it means there are other people that are losing. So what we are doing is, let's have some cohesion. That when partners are coming, they need to start from what the government is already doing. Or if government wants to do something, they need to start from what partner X is already doing. But we also want to encourage partners to work together, as they are encouraging us as a government to work together. Say, Ministry of Education, you need to work with Ministry of Water. ICT, why are you working in silos? Some of you watch these programs on TVs, So we are saying, why the partners are saying, government, you are not doing this right. We are also saying, please, while you are pointing us with one finger, the rest of the three fingers are pointing at you. It means even you as partners, there are some things possibly you are not doing well together. Someone asked where we are. I have, like I said, we have a report. And these reports are annual. We are now working on another report. We have even worked on a recent report, which we are calling the National Leaving No One Behind Assessment Report. This is how different people are poor, or the poverty levels between Kigezi, Ankole, Rwenzori, Bunyoro, but also Western Uganda, Karamoja, Central Region. So that is the report, but also by gender. But does that report capture the poverty levels in your village? Definitely no. So it means every village in the country, by that report, has been left behind. Because you might say, in Ankole, these are the average poverty levels. But these poverty levels definitely vary between Rubirizi, Isinjiro, Chiruhura, Ntungamo, Mbarara. Isn't this true? So if you don't have a report that captures statistics up to what we would call like granular statistics, then it means even when you design a government program and it is generalized, PDM, every parish should have 100 millions. So should people in Karamoja be getting 100 millions? even people in Mbarara City be getting, in Kashari, be getting 100 millions. You get what I'm saying? So that report brings out those issues, to put them to government, to put them to stakeholders and say, okay, these are government reports, they are okay. These are partners reports. But those are some of the key issues that eventually facilitate people to be left behind. So we have done that report. But in summary, this is how we are faring on all the 17 goals. And like I said, this is a summary of like 200 slides. I didn't want to present on goal number 1. We are doing, because these goals have indicators, very many indicators. I think you saw a slide which had this. So as you can see, there are 17 goals. There are 169 targets. I know some of you might not be familiar with targets, but when you go back, please write it down and you find out what is a target and how many targets are in goal number 1. If you are on SDG 5, SDG 3, go and find out how many targets are in SDG 3 and which particular target are you working on. You might not be actually working on all the targets, because SDG 3 has 26 indicators, SDG 3, which is on health, and a number of targets. So for you might be working on maternal health, but there are issues on child health, there are issues on malaria, there are issues on TB, there are issues of accidents. So it means for you are working on particular targets under that particular SDG. So I implore you to go and read about this. But we also have 232 SDG indicators. So these are the indicators that we use to come up with that dashboard I just showed you. You understand? If SDG 3 has 26 indicators, so you find out how many have data and how are we doing on each of the indicators based on the target. Where do we want to be in 2030? Where are we now in 2023? So if there are 26 indicators, how are we doing on each of the indicators? Then you come up with that summary of traffic lights. So this is how we are. So on goal number 1, we are a bit on track. We actually this is here. This is for different countries. So Uganda is the last one here. Sorry, I didn't indicate. So this is where we are. So it means on poverty, we are stagnating. It means we are still stagnant. We are not anywhere. We have not done much. On goal number 2 on hunger, the same story. You have had Karamoja issues. On goal number 3, there is some slight improvement, whereas we don't have the national health insurance policy. On goal number 4, we are stagnant. But like I said, all this is informed by. So don't say, for me, I'm from this district, and all the sub-counties have schools. But they might have schools in terms of structures. Do they have teachers? Are the teachers present? What are the pass marks? What are the transition rates from P1 to P7? What is the completion rate? From P7 to senior 4, how many complete eventually? So all those are indicators that inform that. Gender equality, water and sanitation. So as you can see, so that is how we are progressing in summary. And I'm doing this to ensure that you are now capacitated as champions to know some of these things as we wait for the technical gurus to take us through. So this was my last slide about why we are here, and I already emphasized that. So we want to start a journey with some of you. Because when I asked who applied through a link, who was invited, so we want to start a journey with some of you. A journey of supporting you. And I usually tell people, we are not looking for each one of you. We are not looking for all of you, because we know that it takes one person to build a hotel like Triangle to employ many people. So that is the philosophy. So don't be surprised when we don't move with you, depending on what you're doing and your vision later on, because that is very important. You understand? So if we can have at least 2 to 3 people per district, it will do us good, so that we start moving, because we want to see the next Facebooks come here. the next tweeters come here, the next manufacturers of drugs come here. You get what I mean? So when you imagine you have Twitter employs very many people, over 50,000 people. Those are very many. So we are saying, let's start a journey with all of you, but we shall keep seeing who we can marry with the other. We say, for you, you are very good in communication and branding. Now you go and work with this lady who is on pads. You help her how to brand, how to communicate, so that she can, reach more. Maybe she might be doing that, but she's not good in that area. And that is why Goal 17 is very core. So we are not here to kill your enterprises, to kill your innovations, but we are here to work together to see how we can accelerate. Because you don't want to start something, you start it in 2000, and now we are in 2023, 23 years later, you are still the CEO, you are the finance manager, you are the HR, you are the executive director, you are the cleaner, and you are the gate man. Does it make sense? So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pasco. So it's at this moment maybe that I will have, I know you have questions, but maybe in the meantime, allow us recognize the presence of the refugee officer in charge, Mbarara, Miss Pauline Abina. Thank you very much. And I think we also have Mr. Kabaterine Robert, Network of Farmers Association. Maybe he has stepped out, but I know he's around. Thank you for sparing some time and passing by. So it's at this moment maybe we shall have a little bit of an icebreaker, right? And in this session, as you're organizing your questions for Mr. Pasco, I know you have very many questions, right? But Pasco has always guided us that we need to be the youth who have ideas about our idea. So I'm letting you at least 2 to 3 minutes think about the questions you'd like to ask him, right? I don't want to rush into asking questions. So think about the questions. Emma, where are you? So maybe you will give us a little bit of an icebreaker. So this session only takes for only 3 minutes, and then we can go to the next speaker. Oh, so yes, that is the gentleman. He's called Mr. Kabaterine Roberts, Network of Farmers Association, NEFA. Okay, over to you, Mr. Emma Kayanja.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mine will be very quick. My name is Emmanuel Kayanja. I am from Barara, Kachika, majority know it, Rebshudi, those areas, and my village is called Nyachiziba. So ndio mwana wacha. Straight? Abakakoma, Navahora, Navaramti. So the icebreaker I have, we're going to do it very quickly and then we get moving to the next session. Let's all stand up quickly. Yes, yes, yes. Do you identify someone here that you know? By show of hands, if you know someone here. If you know someone. Hey, okay. That is good. So I want you to identify someone you don't know. Okay. All right. Kindly, I will request that we sit again. We will do the session again. From the presentation from Mr. Pascal, we are going to accept only 3 questions. Those who had questions, please, with show of hands, we shall pick them. He notes them down, and then you can answer them at once. Any questions? Yes.
Your name and then you can ask.
Sorry?
Your name and then you can ask.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Janina Chomendo. I'm the city youth councillor of this city. I hope you can hear me. My voice is a bit low, but I will try to be loud.
I want to appreciate you for this intervention, for this platform, whereby you're making the SDGs more clear, some of us. Like you say, the SDGs from no poverty, no hunger, they are more interlinked. So if you're poor, of course you will die of hunger. If you don't have food, that means you're definitely poor, if you cannot afford a meal. But in your presentation, I would dwell on, for example, on no hunger. Of course, we are facing these challenges, but we need to address why are we having hunger in our country? Most probably, these are caused by the injustices that we are doing on the environment, the air emissions that later change the weather patterns that we have, and definitely we will have food scarcity, and people will die of hunger. But what am I driving to? Which interventions is the government having to make sure that they address the SDGs? If you say no poverty, no hunger, which interventions are we having on board to make sure that in the specified time of 2030, we'll have no poverty, we'll have no hunger? Then another thing, SDGs, I think, do not only apply to elites. I apologize, I came a bit late, but if I look around, most of the participants here are graduates. Mostly they are elites, if I can say. But do we have plans of having these SDGs translated into our local languages so that even the people who are back in our local communities can understand this? For example, we have people who are into farming. They are contributing a lot of money on the tax base. They are addressing unemployment. They have so many people on their farms that they are employing. But do they understand this? So do we have any plans so that if we are to make sure that we move as a nation, we move as Ugandans, we all understand the things that that you are discussing here, not only catering for a certain class of people. Thank you.
Next question. Any other? Okay. Eh? Where are the gentlemen? Eh? One gentleman.
Yeah, thank you. I'm God Gerard Chiza. My question to you, Mr. Pasco. You talked a lot of things here, and they were good. But like the word of today, the word is going digital. Maybe can you briefly tell us which strategies, like the UN Charter, are you having, the UNSD Secretariat, in making sure that people utilize the digital word as in implementing and localizing the SDGs? Thank you.
Boucher. Oh, gotcha.
Mr. Pasco is coming back, so you keep the questions, we'll answer those other two.
Thank you for the great opportunity to ask my question. Mine is just guidance, because we don't want to always fix the blames, but always come up with solutions. My guidance would be, we could bring on board the religious leaders, we bring on board schools, and we also bring on board community members, but kindly provide the visibility materials, because it is really so urgent when a church leader stands in church and talks about this, because this is real life, and as the young people, we believe that it's our nature, our heritage, and we really need to start seeing this as a song. And I would also add on this, can we bring in the music industry to really bring this out to us, the young people, and the world at large? Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, presenter.
Thank you very much. Yes. she's asking about the government interventions. There are quite many. Now, one thing you might need also to appreciate is that the SDG Secretariat, like I had said, it's a coordinating office where we whip. You say you're a counselor, you know whipping, eh? There's a government chief whip, is the one who mobilizes, you know, who holds some other people accountable, who brings them together. So one of our roles is to coordinate and whip. We say when we author a report, and the report is saying, for instance, on zero hunger, one of the zero hunger, but also on no poverty, goal 1 and 2, we authored a report and said one of the factors or one of the challenges affecting the progress in those two goals, especially related to agriculture, is counterfeits. You know, I know all of us, you know, so the agriculture sector has been affected by counterfeits, and that's one of the challenges we have identified in our recent report. And we say the office of the Prime Minister, leave alone the office now, the Prime Minister needs to bring on board all the players that are responsible for reducing these counterfeits on the market. You know what I mean when I talk about counterfeits? You go and buy seedlings, it could be for, you know, maize, watermelon, anything. You plant them but they can't even germinate. You buy pesticides, they are not working. You understand? And then you have put in a lot of money, possibly you are a commercial farmer, you have even got a loan to buy these products, but they cannot germinate. So you cannot, you end up not getting anything. Of course, that problem is cross-cutting. Even in health, we have so many counterfeits. But we said when it comes to hunger and poverty, that is one of the key challenges because agriculture is the main employer. It employs more than 70% of our population, directly and indirectly. So we tell UNBS, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, URA, you are the guys on the borders, you are the guys satisfying all these things. What are you doing? Ministry of Trade, what are you doing? Ministry of Agriculture, are you happy with the current situation? So that's our cardinal role as the SDG Secretariat. And that's why the Secretariat is even in OPM, because OPM is the lead of government business. So in terms of government programs, there are a number of programs, and these programs are spread across the ministries. So those in health, you know, the programs that are currently, so I didn't want to mention some of them, but for instance on SDG 4 we have USE and the UPE, yes, because one of the indicators on goal number 4 is the ability to read and write, as simple as that. The SDGs are saying by 2030, everyone should be in a position to read and write. So that's why you see such a program, whereas it might not necessarily mean that it offers quality education, but if we are to tick off, that indicator is ticked off in that measure. So there are a number of programs which I might not mention, but also government has also had special programs for special regions. We have had the Northern Uganda development programs, a number of them. We have had Karamoja development programs. We currently have the Rwenzori economic empowerment program. There are a number of programs that the government has put in place to address most of these SDGs, intentional programs. Then in terms of engaging, of course, this platform is for young people. We definitely couldn't have elderly. I know that's what you meant. But we have also reached to local governments, because it's not, the other responsibility you need to take on from here is that in the Secretariat we are about 5 people. So imagine if you have to do this every day in every district. I don't know how many days we have in a year, and how many districts we have, how many municipalities we have, and how many town councils we have. Eventually sub-counties. You'll be at a district, they say, now you are here at the district, why don't you move to the sub-county? That's a good question. But now you are the ambassadors, like I said. The district, local governments, the city, they are the ambassadors. So it's also their role to take on the message, because it's the district, it's the city that is actually government. So don't look at the government as Kampala government. We have governments across the country, local governments, town councils. So it's everyone's responsibility. It's the responsibility of a DHO, of a community development officer to talk about SDGs, but they can only talk about them when we have talked to them. But we have made an effort to talk to them, and we continue to talk to them to ensure that SDGs are localized. And unfortunately, we have SDGs translated so far in 13 languages. I don't know why these materials are not here, but I've learned this morning that the car that was supposed to bring them is bringing them today. Unfortunately, I hope by the time it arrives, you guys are still around so you can have them. But we have already made an effort to translate these SDGs, so that when you go to address your local meeting, invited by the LC1 chairman as an SDG champion, you can read these things in Runyankore and speak about them in Runyankore. So we have them in Uganda, Runyachitara, the Karamajong, the 13 languages. So we have them. Then the digital prospects, now everything is going to digital. Mr. Charles will talk about digital. Digital compliance, taking advantage of the digitalization space, and so on. So it will be our next session, so you'll talk about that. Then involvement of religious leaders. In one of the slides where I showed you the institutional framework, one of our constituencies is the Interreligious Council of Uganda. We have a partnership with them. We have actually trained the Interreligious Council of Uganda, of course at Kampala level, and that council brings on board all the religious establishments in Uganda under one body. So we are working with them. But unfortunately, still at the national level, we have not yet localized the efforts. But for instance, tomorrow, among the people or participants we have invited for the session I told you, we have also invited religious leaders because you know they are very much core to this agenda. So I beg to leave. I'm going to the other People's Parliament at the Independence Park, but I know we are here up to around 4, so I will be back by possibly 1:30. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pasco. We have excused you as young people. I know you have asked for permission, so we have excused you to go and do government work, but we hope you come back because you have seen that there are some 2, 3, 4 young people who want to ask you more questions. So before maybe we get into digitalization, I know Emma has moved out to... Emma, are you still interested in giving us your health break? Please come and we do some, you know. I promised you, you came here, you have been sitting in that position. I told you there is no way I'm going to allow only cows and cows to sit alone and bulls to sit alone. So we are going to accept. You know I'm the president of the Youth Coalition for SDGs. So I'm now giving a directive. It's a presidential directive. So as you finish the health break, we make sure we are going to interchange seats. I don't expect to see the same faces on the same table with the same neighbor.
All right.
Sindio?
Yes.
Ayabas.
Actually, Mr. President, even my icebreaker was about that specifically. So let's stand again. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, advocating for a boy child. So we had said that if you know someone here, raise up your hand again. If you know someone, not the people that introduce themselves here in front, no. I mean if you know that this is the Kabaterine, Nakora High Street, something like that. If you know somebody.
Are there any familiar faces?
Familiar faces, we studied from the same university, we come from the same village. Kati, when we say that identify someone, you're going to identify someone, but don't go to that someone. Okay? So we are going to use 30 seconds to look for someone. First of all, if you're female, look for a gentleman. And if you're a gentleman, look for a female.
Look for a female.
Yeah, we have to balance the gender. And yes. And if it doesn't break any law, I would also request our presenters to join the crowd and look for someone. Let's beginning now.
Luku, luku, luku,
Luku, luku. DJ, where are you? DJ, and when you're finding someone, make sure you do not find someone whom you know. Have you found someone? The seconds have elapsed. Congratulations.
We only have 30 seconds. We only have 30 seconds to do that. Luku, luku.
If possible, shift with all your bugugu, obugugu bwa obona butwale, olonde mugenzi wawe. Owata kumanya.
Yangondi migration.
Have you found? Okay. All right. Where is your partner? Is she aware? Does she know you? Do you know him? Good.
I am still seeing people who are not moving. Members, you have to migrate. We are in the Bantu migration and Ngondi migration.
I know that has found me. I haven't been found. That is,
Luku, luku. You have been sitting with this one. You don't know her.
All right.
You have been sitting with this one. So
searching is done.
Change. Hey,
we are done searching.
Just come here.
Team. When I say team, you say yes, team? 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 Okay, let's all be silent. That means you have found someone. So, Emma, the person you have found, yes?
I am still seeing okay, yeah, she has changed. Okay, you can continue.
Did you find your partner? Or counterparts? Who did not find, we help you. Oh, come here. Over to she didn't find Jangu. Hey, oh, okay.
Banage men, the ladies have no partner.
There you are.
Even if you don't have.
Hey.
Emma, there's another lost one there.
Who?
Single.
Oh.
Hey.
Do you have someone? You don't? You don't have? Gentlemen, we have a...
Someone is asking, are they allowed to be a Haji?
No, you're not allowed to have two. Hello? You need to... All right. I think ladies are so many. So here's what we are going to do when you find your partner. This exercise shouldn't take long. You're going to ask about something about that person, and then we are going to give an opportunity to you, just 2 or 3 people, to tell about something about that person. Tell anything. Let's begin now. But me, I don't have anyone. I repeat. Okay, I'm going to repeat. It's going to be brief. Hey, please find someone. Get a partner. Hey. Hello? Get someone. Let them tell you, about themselves. And also, tell them about yourself. And then later, we will ask you about that someone. Over to you. Mumanyane, that's in brief. Come. Hello. Get near each other and have a decent conversation. Hold on. For example, what is your name? Hello. Nice meeting you. My name is Emmanuel Kayanja. Yes. Oh, nice meeting you, Mercy. Full name, please. So, you begin like that, have a clear conversation. Can you get near each other? So that there is no this thing of... I pass. No, come this side. You're the gentleman. Find the lady.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. But some people are cheating. Cheating is not allowed.
No cheating.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, I request you to stand up one more time, those who are seated. Just one more time, do me a favor, please.
We are left with only...
Are we all standing up?
30 seconds.
We are not proceeding until those two gentlemen stop sharing on phone.
30 seconds. 30
Hello?
seconds. Please put down your phones.
Hello?
Hello?
Ask your neighbor, neighbor. I'm not hearing. Are we in class here? Neighbor. But people are not talking to their neighbors. I see everyone looking at each other. Ask your neighbor, neighbor, are you learning?
Hey, don't lie about yourself.
I'm not seeing people talking to each other.
Mr. Time,
Is the neighbor saying they are learning?
you need to do quick.
Okay, let's do something small. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, all gentlemen and ladies, now that it is a changed cycle, let's all stretch our hands to the person who is in front of you. I need you to stretch a hand in front of the person. You stretch your hand up. Now, I need everyone to stretch a hand. I need people here. You come now this side. Make a line. As in be behind her. Put your hand on her. Even you get behind. Are you getting the concept? Go behind there. Go and join them. Join them. People here, stretch your arms to your neighbor, arm's length. Everyone. I don't want space. No, to her shoulder. No, to the shoulder of your neighbor, the person behind you. Person in front of you. Are we all touching each other? Now, I need you to put both arms on the shoulders of that person in front of you. You're cheating. Come. Both arms on the shoulders, Are both hands on the shoulders of the person in front of you? Mister, you're alone. Extend behind. Or in front. Either way. Are we together? Now, I need you to do me a favor, I need you to massage the person in front of you. Ladies, no, let's go. Please. Give them a little massage. We are not going to go ahead to another session until you do this. I don't want us to cheat. Please massage. Now, please. We are one, remember. All right? So we have to learn to work together. Are we together? Give them a simple massage. Okay, ask the neighbor, how do you feel? Is the neighbor feeling good? Okay,
all right.
Let's all face the other side. And we do the same favor to the neighbors. Because it has to be equal. Mister, turn around, so.
All right. Let's take our seats and we give a kind clap to everyone. Woo!
Thank you.
So, just to put keep it in mind that afterwards, keep in mind about what that person told you about themselves. So we are going to ask you so that by the time you leave,
Check. Yeah, it's on. Okay. Did you enjoy that session? Did you enjoy? So briefly, before we have our presentation from Uganda, I would like to give a minute or two to the Network of Farmers Association, and that is Mr. Kabatine Robert. Just 1 minute or two. I know he's running to his farm. As farmers, they are very busy people. But let him come and just briefly share with you, and then we shall have a presentation from Uganda. Then after, we shall also have briefly a presentation from, just remarks from the refugee officer in charge of Mbarara. So over to you, Mr. Kabatini. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kabatini Robert. I work with NEFA Agrotech, Network of Farmers Agrotech. Our offices is in town here in I'm here I'm representing NEFA and I'm representing farmers.
Check. Maybe you can use this one.
I think we are coming from this region because I'm here I'm representing farmers, and I think what I'm going to talk about is going to help to you and people who are not here. I think because I want to take you through about my projects. I started small and to take you where I have reached. And I think my message must go outside, not here alone. All of us here must go outside from here. So, I'm going to use two languages, Runyankore and English. One, I have like 4 projects. And before I take you through my projects, I want to ask the table from SDG whether you can help me in this project to help me. Because I have good projects but need support. I have tried to implement this project on ground. Almost it is 6 years. I've been in field for 6 years. And this project, I have heard that you want to partner with different people. You want us the innovators who have projects that is on the ground. I have helped people. I have trained people. I have projects on ground. I have a farm, a brooding center here in town. I have a backyard farming here in town. And it can employ almost 100 people. So what I need from your side is to help me so that I can feed others. Yes. Because if you want to see my project, let us go and you see my farm. That farm is not benefiting me alone. It's helping the community. Yes.
Mr. Kabaterine, the chairperson, Network of Farmers Agrotech. Thank you for that question. I'm sorry to speak at this hour. My time is coming, but I'm by names of Hope Mkondane. And why I've stood up, I want to know where he needs help. Because he's saying, I can employ 1,000 people. I have farm. I have worked for 6 years. So where is the problem? Identify your problem, but before you identify your problem, the purpose why this team is here is to look for those gaps so that we can look for help to those who have running projects. Thank you so much. So you are in the right place.
Munyambe muntero mungaro nata. So one of the projects that I train people is this one. It's called backyard farming. Backyard farming, you can use a small land that you have at home, just a compound, and you start earning money from there. You just use plastic things. Just this one. It's called backyard farming. Okuhinga mboga. So nobasa koza kataka kawako muko mukyaro. Ohingire mama na tata emboga kandi muzitundaho mukatari. I think you know very well our market here is a big market called the Central Market. You go there. There is cabbages, nyanya, utunguru. Yes, sir. Okay. This one is going to help me show you all the pictures and you will see. Another project is a poultry. This one, the brooding center, is here at Mairibiri when you are heading to Cleveland Road. This is the one. So this one, you can use even a small car space you have. And it does not need a lot of money. Nienda kubuzo murimo oteine mtwara 5 kumara umwaka. Aroho? Kumara umwaka? Umwaka?
Konkanye ndangu tube serious. 360 days. You mean you cannot raise 500,000? Aha. Please, you put up your hands.
Orukumanya.
And the camera sees you. Naruhanga kurebe.
Sa oria nabi. Harmabu naza gamba binkumanya oria nabi yo. Ogo you come, just come. Oguni manya aratungira na project zanye zinkumanya. You come, just come. Oguna abo yo.
So remember, let us be realistic. You mean in 1 year you cannot raise 500,000?
No one. They are just lying.
Shida chonka.
Now, members, if you can manage 500,000, if you don't manage, it is okay. If you can manage even, who can manage 300,000 in a year? Saving, if you can save and you manage to have 300,000. Because even though we ask these people to help us, but also we need to help ourselves. We should not beg the government all the time. Me, I did not start all this project from the government. I'm telling you the truth. Yes. Now, at members, ninja twaza kuzana, but ebintu twenda tuza royalty. What I know, kane chinkumanya twena twine byokukora, twena barya. Twine bitukora kandi twine hitukurga kandi twine okutukubasa kuronda okutwabaho. But I have my motto yitu as NEFA. Farming is the way to go. Whether you like it or not, you eat every day. What you eat comes from the farm. You must join farming. I will not force you, but the condition will force you to join farming. Nyonkanye tinyine chinkubasa kugamba. Whether you hide there or jirot manyabiha, you will go back. East to west home is the best. Whether you like it or not. So it is better you start early when you are still strong and energetic. Obuto abantu kusoma hakaraba baba bakaba genda baja tuzo mu strike tukikora strike bagira ba selecting abakubinga otaha wogo. So aho manye ngo orho wogo eshaha kora shore wagarka, you must think alone and you go and plan. Nyor kugambra I started na kugambira sente zina atandikise good enough ogo namanya office yanja heri ninjangu nabandi numukira kumpurira radio ningamba za farm yanje rebinkora za no wanje mashore binkora. I did not get any money from the government. Government abana abeja mu bahate nabandi abize kunyamba bashangire nekahi omuhanda ninga banshanje nyine binakozire. So nicho niyo ningambira my dear friend, you are my sister, my brother, go back and think alone and you ask God akobwenje ogire chiwata nuba kwa sente when you don't have plan for that money. Nibanga nahura mu rugo mu office ya prime minister. Emyoga manya parish development tinka ya yoga sente and tikuza kuzihayo. Because nyoni nyendangu nicho nagambra this table, I want you to take my report. You must help those people who have already started. Don't lie this country that you are going to help with the youth whom you are going to find on the street. They have them. Yes. No zakuzuma as to a girlfriend ninga boyfriend. You call it the end of the day. But someone who have already suffered and started, kandor kubasa employing others and help others, you don't help him or her. So my dear friend, you go and start. Then if you ask the government, let the government help you when you have already started your own. But kora za waza kujirangu, now government ekuyambe nyone ijaha kubwagambra, you help me mushanje hina hikamba tware mbore kibinkoze. Then you help me you start from there. Then I will help others. Yes. Because I know I can help others and I can employ others. And they will start their own from the experience. And again, we must train our friends. But don't just wake up from in your bed and I'm going to start. No. I have many challenges in that business or in that project. I have suffered a lot. But even you go and ask the dairy farmers, they are suffering. You go. I started a project called Farmers Parliament. It has been trending on social media. Farmers Parliament. It was because of counterfeits. The drugs. Farmers were facing a challenge of drugs in markets. Fake drugs. So farmers are suffering there. So we are the young generation. We must stand and fight the poverty, and we must stand and we help our parents through creating our own jobs. I have traveled at Kachek Indians. We go there and we work as but also they are suffering. Let us come back and we start our own job and we create our own jobs here in our country. And it is possible. It is just mindset. Mindset. So why am I raho kajerati think basa saving at least a year? Emitwara atano. Then I start my own project. I'm telling you, otherwise I'm going to end from here. But let us go back and start. We must start as small, then we grow big for God and my country.
Okay, thank you very much. Members, one word normally becomes 3 words.
I'm a professional. I went to good schools. I know time management. Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Simon, but AKA Simon the Farmer. I am multifaceted. I have different professions on me, but I venture in farming. And what he's saying is true. And madam, these people are lying to you. You cannot say you can't raise 500,000 and you have a smartphone. You cannot say you can't afford 500,000, you have a laptop. And lastly, excuse me, Excuse me. You cannot say you can't raise 500 when you have social capital, the friends. At the end of this month, I'll be going to California in the US. There's a program for Banyankore Kweterana. All the Banyankores who live in diaspora, they meet and have that symposium where they meet as colleagues and discuss different innovative ideas. Now, I want to call upon all of you here. If you are here and you are an innovator and you hail from Ankore, please contact me. We'll have a program online for those who are not traveling. Are we together? But when you present, you are even paid for the work that you are doing. So those who are suffering from poverty of the brain, please, we have a lot to do. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think we need to have mindset change programs. We need to have, it is, and you see, it is very key, productivity. So at this moment and this juncture, now what is it? Questioning to who? Asking who? Those are just remarks. Find them in the, yeah, because now we shall not finish members. Let us be conscious of time. You write the question, the person, social capital, the person is there. Mufunze ngogira. When I used to be a young man in conferences, nali kufunza. Mufunze is there. Mufunze, they said they have opportunities, they are going California, Mufunze. They said they are doing farming, Mufunze. Sindio? Okay, over to you, Mr. Charles. Thank you. I tell you, if he leaves when you have not funzad him, I will ask you for the number. Funza.
I like the bit of funza. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to welcome you here. Thank you for coming. That's one. Because there are so many who chose not to come. Cindy, or like someone was saying. My name is Charles Tumusime. I work with a company called Uganda. And I think I've interacted with majority or some of you in different capacities. Not so? Thank you. I want to write my name here and my contact because we are going to discuss business. I don't normally share my other social media platform handles for purposes known to all of us. I'm here to not to preach about digital literacy, but to implore you to use the minimal digital literacy that you have, that you don't know that it is actually digital literacy, to make money. Someone said there that you people have smartphones, and people were saying we cannot even raise 500,000. All of you here are using those devices as liabilities. They are not assets. Laban was telling me that the people that you're going to speak to are people who, to use her word, elites, all right? So we want to move from using these devices as a liability, because you spend money on them every other single day. And I trust some of you sleep hungry, but you have data on your phones. Yes? And you have social media platforms and handles that you engage with, friends with, in there that you have never even met. Am I speaking Spanish? If I ask someone here, how many Twitter friends or Facebook friends do you have? All of you, no one here. I notice nowadays people are fidgeting to raise numbers. Yeah? On Twitter, not so. And they call themselves influencers, not so. Do we have some influencers here? Digital influencers? We do. How much money? I want to make this more interactive. Eh? How much money do you spend on data on a single day? Basic.
That is 1,000 Ugandan shillings. 1,000.
1,000 shillings per single day. Are we together? Ninyinji? Ninchi? Let's look at the average. What is the average? 5,000. This person is using 5,000 UGX. This is ideally $1.5, eh? And this same person is telling you that she or he cannot raise 500,000 shillings in a year. Are we together? We are talking about mindset change. Someone spoke about it there. I want us to turn it the other way around and change the meaning. From mindset change to now, change the mindset. And that poses a question. Do we know why we are here? Again, I will ask, Madam, why are you here?
I'm here to learn new skills, especially about the SDG. I'm here to get a bigger view, to be enlightened, to see things from different angles. Basically, I'm here to learn.
Very good. She's here to learn. Why did you come?
I came to acquire knowledge about what I don't know and share what I know.
Very good. How are you going to share what you know?
Of course, I will share with the people I'm with by sharing contacts, or else even I present what I have to the people here.
This gentleman has a smartphone, and it's Android. If I'm not lying, by the look of it, it's an Android 10. In the Ugandan market today, you cannot get this phone below 300,000, even if you pick it from a thief on street. The same gentleman tells you, I cannot. How much money do you spend on data? 5,000 on average. 5,000 is an equivalent of 1 GB. Not so? Huh? So just look at 5,000 times 30 days, and on Saturday, Sunday, Friday, you spend more than that. Not so? Change mindset. If we will come here and preach and speak to you people. We have a program ongoing, digital economy program. There are so many programs that we're handling. We have Strive for Growth and Innovation. It's a fund also. But like someone here was saying, you cannot pick money and give it to someone to eat and to give to the girlfriend. And that is why you notice that some of the government programs keep on collapsing. These are very good projects. And by the way, there is a very beautiful and hardworking team behind there that works on these projects before they're implemented. They even do the preambles. They test them. But once it gets down to you people, what happens? What do you need right now?
just to acquire new, different skills to add on what I have.
What do you want to become?
Just
Okay, let me paraphrase. Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
just becoming a great entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur in which direction?
Just in liquid shop making and investing in other businesses.
Now, if we were here, ladies and gentlemen, if we were here and it was an assessment to see who we can extend support, like someone came here and said, I need to be supported, I've been rearing whatsoever in agriculture for the last 6 so years, but I need support from you, Laban. Everyone here, every one of us needs support in something. In something. You people are lucky. You have both legs, both eyes, and you're alive, healthy. All right? But there are people who are looking for money today as I speak, and they'll make a phone call to you and say, man, I have a brother who is supposed to be operated in the UK, and they've requested for a certain amount. You guys have heard of these stories. Nowadays it has even become a scam. People post them on social media platforms. Not so. It goes back to change mindset. You people don't want to work, that's 1. 2, you want kagwirao. So, mindset change is you first understanding. The word comprehending means to understand deeply, to delve into. Huh? Have you ever prayed? There's that moment when you sit down and pray and invite whoever you invite in whatever religion you believe in. That is what they call, you need to comprehend the reasons of change. Why are you changing? Why do you want to be that you want to be in the next 2 years? And in fact, you have no direction. You're simply speaking about entrepreneurship. You need to realize the resistance they are in. And this is what we are talking about. You have a phone. Let that phone be your employer. Let that phone pay you. Instead of you spending money onto it. I wanted to ask the lady here who spends 1,000, and I wanted to ask her how much money do you make using that phone. And please do not tell me I normally request for my boyfriend to send mobile money. All right? So, a change mindset is comprehending the reasons for change, realizing that all resistance to changes is not logical, and communicating the rationale for change and mobilizing others to aid in securing a new vision for the future. Where do you see yourself in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Most of us here, like someone asked there and someone said, Ntukorechi Dachionka. Not so. He doesn't know what he's doing. Moreover, he has ruled us for the last 45 years. At my age, I've done 5, 7 jobs. He's done 1 job before I was born, years before I was born, up to today. Are we together, guys? Be strategic in whatsoever you are doing. I want to speak about basic digital literacy. Basic. The beginning of everything. What do you put on first when you're leaving home?
When I'm from home?
Of course. Yes, sir.
Hey, every morning I put on my shirt.
This man has 2 different ideas. There's when I don't know whether when he's at home, he's naked, and when he's leaving home, when he's from home. But I wanted when you're coming from home, not when you're from home. Those two are different, eh? Yes. So, but ideally, there are those inner wears we always put on first. And the industry where I come from, there are these things that when you go to speak to a group like you, which I trust most of you do not fear devices, there are groups, the dear farmers, which we're working with closely, who fear devices. As I speak to you, we are struggling with the cooperatives in the whole country of Uganda. And that is why we are transferring ourselves and trying to reach ourselves on Laban to give us the use. Why? Because we've distributed devices, computers, phones to these cooperatives to make sure what this gentleman was complaining about, what was his name? Kabaterine. What he was talking about, that there's a lot of vulgarism and adulterism, if I'm right with the word. Why does it come? Because there is no clear traceability. And for us, we are saying, no, let us give these guys devices where they can get in touch directly with the genuine suppliers. But you give the devices, and these people keep them in their stores, and you find them with dust. And the same person is saying, my son doesn't have a job. And the son is saying, agriculture or farming is
a scam.
His father says agriculture is a scam.
It's not beneficial.
It's not beneficial. The father never talks about agriculture.
It's the way to go. It's the way to go.
It's the way to go.
Doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's for the villagers, those who didn't go to school.
Very good. Are you hearing the answers that are coming out of our society? This is a representative. If you were a representative of our society's mindset, basically about now agriculture. Now, this is on the side of the youth, all right? When you go to our fathers and grandfathers, for them, when you go to preach digital technology, they tell you, those are for what?
Digital technology.
If you're talking about phones, computers, and blah, blah, and you're telling your grandfather, what does your grandfather or father say?
That they are not good.
He'll say they are not good. For whatever reason.
For people who don't have what to do.
For people who don't have what to do. The people who don't want to work. The people who don't want to hustle.
Those who have studied.
The answer I was looking for is here. Those things you have brought for us are for people who have have studied. Now, do you realize the challenge we are having, Laban? Do you see the gap that we need to bridge? And until we get you guys to understand that indeed agriculture is the way to go, like our father says, but again, the agriculture we are talking about has changed. I'm using agriculture as an example here, eh? But this is happening in all the sectors. In business, the entrepreneur here. In business, today you do not have to rent a shop to sell whatever you want to sell. Not so? But if I talk to your father, he will tell you wake up in the morning at 6, go open up the shop. You're losing how many hours of travel? Around about 2 hours. Where I come from, I lose 1.5 hours before I get to office. That is when I'm to get to office. That is why when I'm talking to Laban, I normally tell him, no, we are going to lose time. So we mainly do online. Because then, the time I would have wasted moving up and down can do something else. Huh? Bridging the gaps. You guys need to change your mindset on whatsoever you're doing Stop thinking that this is for so and so. And this is for so and so, and on. Maybe some of us were left out. So, what is basic digital literacy? Digital literacy is the ability to access. One, access. Now you guys have access to different information, and thank your UCC. The regulation here is not as tight. Because you guys wake up in the morning and post anything. Anything. But I will tell you, there's someone here who said he wants to look for a job. If I sat, before I social media platforms, what kind of friends do you interact with? Huh? You'll come to me, sit and preach, because you guys do research, we know. You research, you will search about the job, you even look for which people have. It is called commenting, not so? And not every link that is forwarded to you, you should click onto it and activate it. All right? So, is this for? Eh? Someone has posted, there's one trending now. Someone posts, may he rest in peace, and puts His Excellency Honorable Sam Kutesa's picture. And you, I will use apologies with apologies, the word ignorantly also say, we are bringing rice and chicken and meat. Now the next morning, you're knocking at one of his business enterprises, you want a job. The guy seated at the panel is checking, your posts are reading as though. Integrate and communicate. Before that, evaluate, create information safely and appropriately through digital technologies the next one, of employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship. All of you guys are here saying we've come to learn, we've come to do what? The only thing that brought you here, if you guys, I said, I've given all of you jobs here, decent ones, you will not even find time to be here. We are all constantly looking for improvement in our lives, not so? The moment you cease to do that, then you cease to exist. If you're living a life of God knows what, my friend, year will begin and end when you're still the same person. This topic here is really quite huge and big. So I am not going to be able, Laban, with all due respect, I cannot go through this entirely. So I'll simply just hint on it, because I'll share, then we'll share with the links. Components of basic digital literacy. Apologies, it missed there. So there are three crucial things, guys. I'm talking about these things because all of you here have devices, phones, gadgets. Not so? Even if you have this other small one, what do they call them? Mapesa. This one. I can access this one wherever you are, much as for you, you think it cannot be accessed. But most of us have smartphones. Androids, iPhones. So, one, the first crucial element is for you to find out which kind of platforms you're accessing and for what. Why? Why should you spend your 5,000 worth of money to only check her face and her new post? There's a trend nowadays where girls post their bodies and ask people to comment. And I think the boys have also started putting up their Right? So number one, find out. And in your finding out, you have, the difference between you making a mistake and making it right. My boss normally says it's just a microsecond. And that microsecond comes with what part of the brain has this information influenced. If you're someone who likes nudes and you're addicting yourself to that, then the moment that comes, and you will click onto that. But I'll tell you, the moment you click on one, then do you know what internet does? It looks for your likes. Someone, and from the word go, you don't like the person. Yes. And there's someone you meet and you click. It happens mostly to girls. I don't like the guy. He has not done anything to me, but I don't like him. The same with the internet. It also looks for what you like. Evaluate. Evaluate the information that is shared with you. Create and communicate information that will enable you to create jobs for yourself. I think it was SDG, is it 15, Laban? About population growth and population control, population empowerment, improvement, growth capability. And today, a plot of land in Uganda is at what price? Just here.
Sorry?
A plot of land, a 50 by 100. Oh, you're not aware of these things. Okay, let's look at a bunch of matoke.
It's only 10,000 now. 10,000.
10,000. That is his answer.
Currently in Barara, the large one is at 15.
Okay, let us take these ones as hypothetical answers. But I want to ask a question. 10 years ago, how much was a bunch of matoke?
Sorry?
10 years ago, how much was one bunch of matoke? 2013.
The price of matoke fluctuates from 7,000 to 30,000.
I'm talking about 10 years back.
Around 5 to 7,000. From the farmer or in the market?
Wherever, at farm gate. Okay, let me ask the lady who cooks.
Avambe. Wama, good afternoon once again. I come from Isinjiro. Thank you. 10 years ago, we used to have matoke of even 500. 1,000. The biggest 3,000. 10 years ago. Isinjiro. Even up to now when it is during this time when it is too much. In July, June, matoke is at 1,525,35. So that is matoke for us.
Okay, the prices may vary from wherever you have been, but what I wanted to bring out is that the prices keep on going high. You don't expect a bunch of matoke to be costing 15,000 in 2042. You will not. So what is going to happen? And you know what it is going to come with? The digital age. Today, you go to the market and purchase physically. In the near future, you're going to have to log into some certain application and the matoke is brought to you. Just like it is happening with Global, with these delivery service applications. And I think it is already happening, like she's saying. So, in brief, what are we saying? That you need to develop these skills to successfully navigate the digital age. If you don't do that, guys, if you do not find, evaluate, create, and communicate information accurately, you will stay with your device And you stay saying, me, I cannot save even 500,000 shillings. Was it saving or earning? I forget. Earning. Saving. Again, saving is difficult. I hope you speak about mindset change. Me, I'm speaking about change of mindset. He's saying saving is difficult. Are we still together? I now want to start speaking about business. We have created, with the support of these gentlemen, and so many of them behind, what we are calling a shared digital agent network. If I ask you today, there are people here who want to be bankers, loans officers, there are those that want to be insurance agents, there are those that want to be teachers in schools, there are those that want to be medics, there are those that want to be entrepreneurs. All right? So what is happening under the shared digital economy, shared digital agent network is, you remember, we have one ecosystem. All right? I'll use an example. If let's imagine this is our world, and we have different players here. The government, we have, I'll use basics, insurance companies. This is finance, and credit. Then we have agriculture. We have the ones you guys like so much, the funders, the grantors. What do you call them? NGOs. There's a gentleman here who was looking for them. Unfortunately, he didn't share all the details. So we have, we have NGOs. We have the consumers. We have education. These are services now. Education, medical care, social amenities. These ones where you go to enjoy whatever you enjoy in the night. Herbs. I think I can call this health. Today as we speak, people are lying, But I want to speak about the job now that you're going to use with your devices, with your phones that you have. And that is why a link was shared with you, so that you can share with us the details about yourself. This finance guy here, the bank or SACCO, has got agents, not so? The guys who go to the field and look for the loans and look for the opening of accounts. Do you have some here? Do you have bankers, credit officers, loans officers, whatever you call yourself? Yeah? Financial advisors. Yes? You also have these agents here who call themselves insurance agents, insurance brokers. Then in agriculture here, you have so many of them. You have the guys who do the real farming, the farmers. Of course, all of us are farmers. You've got input providers. I'll stop here in the interest of time. Then you have these guys. And then the consumers, who is every one of us. And then this. But did you know that where we are looking to going is that all these, you as an individual, using your device will be able to support all the different entities here. Using your phone. Instead of you now downloading that application that only gives you nude pics, you will have access to applications that can allow you to serve as a digital agent for different companies and organizations. So of course, but we will do due diligence on you, pick KYC from you. Then the insurance company can pay you commission. Yes? The bank guy will also pay you commission. But what is the less than saving the bank? The bank has been hiring people to go and hiring space. To come and sit in office, then from office walk into the field to look for people to give loans. Here, me I'm saying no. What's your name, ma'am?
Christine.
I'm saying no, Christine. Sit in your bed. Christine, whatever. Chris, okay. I am saying that you need to sit and work with your device wherever you are. Don't go looking for that job. And commission from different players. The bank, education. You guys have heard of school pay? Medical and health insurance. We have down there social media hubs. Nowadays, you guys don't have to ham around. You don't know where you're going. Sometimes you're set up in an app. I don't know whether it has come yet in Bara, but you can be set up in an app and then you engage with different players, different individuals before you've even met them, and you enjoy yourselves. Then NGOs, these guys are looking for funders. And people are opening up consultancy firms. Do we have some here? There you go. And they sit and write proposals and submit to these guys, and they say, we have Sijui how many farmers we're working with, Sijui what, and they get the grant. I don't want to delve into the details, but here, there will be an application that allows you to delve into that, and then you earn also commission. Are we together? This is going to be shared with you for those who applied online, and I think there are those that have shared their email addresses. Okay, thank you. I want to end by saying we will have more engagements with you by either online or physically, and Laban, I request that this becomes more regular, and we will be requesting to meet the same kind of age groups that we can engage with. However, guys, I forgot 3 things. Have an email address. You have a business, why don't you have a website? These are basics of doing business. If you don't have an email address, like you said that people don't have email addresses, they are using shared email. Please open up an email address, it is free. No one is going to charge you. I thank you, and thank you for listening to me.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Charles. I like calling people, Mr. Charles sounds a little bit Mr. Tomosime. It is easier. I don't know why people like calling me Mr. Laban. It's better you call me Mr. Msinguzi. But we shall go with that, because if it's Charles, let it be Charles. If it's Laban, let it be Laban. Don't put the Mr. So I know you have questions, so make sure you think about the questions before you ask. But maybe as we are letting them think about the questions, I know that also that part of the body is what? So in the meantime, as we are also waiting for those people in that other department are also arranging, maybe you will allow me to welcome, Madame Pauline from the refugee officer in charge. That is, okay, you are the refugee officer in charge. Maybe you'll talk more about it. All right, over to you. Just briefly, and then we can.
Good afternoon, everyone. Pauline Irene Abina. I'm the acting regional refugee desk officer under Office of the Prime Minister, Department of Refugees. I'm honored to be part of you. Laban and team, thank you for having me here. I work in Mbarara. My office is based here. I've been here for almost 11 years, 12, since 2011. And I've been doing refugee humanitarian work specifically. So first of all, the honor I have is interacting with young people. It's very delightful to meet young people seated together, trying to learn and also share ideas together. Besides being a humanitarian worker, I'm a climate change activist. I see somebody already identifying with me there. So I do that with a lot of passion, by the way. And somebody was here asking for help. I will also say, in my humble way, I have done some work with Noah, who is part of you. We've done some work, invested our personal monies to plant trees. This season, it's something we've started just of recent. I've been having that a lot of passion in me to see that as a young person or old person, whatever, we must do something. There's a lot of climate change effects. And this year alone, we planted, in the first season, we've planted about 3,800 trees to about 11 schools. 11 schools. We are starting small. We did, first of all, in Ward Sub-County, where I come from. I come from Amuria, I come from Teso, sub-region. And we've done the trees, seedlings, the planting in 11 schools so far. And we look forward. Ideally, the vision we have is if we can manage every about 15,000. And we intend to expand. So I need support in terms of ideas, in terms of how best we can do this. And for your information, we started this as a joke. We partnered with NFA. They gave us seedlings. I personally, together with Noah, we went to NFA in Mbale. They gave us seedlings. We tried to alliance with NFA Moroto. They promised us seedlings. I've also gone a milestone by interacting with my colleagues in Arua to get teak seedlings, but there are a lot of challenges because it's something we are learning. Outside there, as youth, as young people, there is a lot that people need to know about climate change. That's what I realized. We had an interaction with students in those schools that we gave trees. I think we were able to interact with about 3 or 4 schools physically where we did the planting. And you could find that there is a lot that needs to be told to the public. The teachers, the youth themselves, and there's a lot of willingness, by the way. People think youth love easy money, but I think not all. Sometimes we need a bit of guidance. We need to have some people to talk to see how we can start. And we will be able to start. Personally, I like talking to young people. So to my refugee work, I already interacted with Laban that I think in the next meetings, we need to have refugee leaders here. And you will see the energy some of them have. You will see the vision some of them have. Besides being refugees, others are employers. You can imagine somebody who is having that kind of vulnerability of being a refugee, but even then, that's not enough to deprive some of them their knowledge. Like you are saying, they've been able to start. Of course, there are different ways each of us can start in our small, humble ways. So some of them are employers, And they've been able to motivate and encourage a lot of young people, not only refugees, but even Ugandans. So I would wish that maybe in the next sitting, if we can have, we could invite some of them here, maybe one or two. They share with you what they have done. They share with you how they have done it and probably the challenges they are facing. Because people may think as refugees they have everything, or as refugees they may be very challenged completely. No, I think in each situation, there is a unique way each of us can thrive and survive. So to the colleagues who are here, I want to encourage you that first of all, there are a lot of challenges government is facing in terms of finances. So like somebody said here that waiting for government all the time, sometimes some of the programs or projects geared to support youth may not reach you in reality the way it is on paper because of a number of issues in there. So I would wish to say that let's be very positive in terms of mindset, like a colleague here had just been presenting, and then we must really try to encourage each other and see how to pull one another to see that we survive. The world is so harsh, and for me, to the ladies now, besides being a humanitarian worker and environmentalist, I love women so much because I'm a woman, yes. And please don't take me to the bill. I am just a women activist. Okay, there. That's better. Okay, thank you for the correction. Yes, so we really want to encourage the ladies. I am a mother, by the way. I have 3 babies and I am married. So besides that, I don't know whether it qualifies me for a tick or what, but I'm mentioning this to encourage fellow ladies that besides mothering, I am doing humanitarian work, and for your information, the work I do is entire Southwest. So you can imagine, I mother 3 children, I have to do humanitarian work, that takes me off my family, but I have to struggle because that's where the world has put us. You cannot sit. So I want to encourage the ladies here that please, gone are the days of sitting and waiting for these men to do things for us. Let us struggle in our small ways. Learn to be self-reliant is a key. I wake up in the morning, drive my car, and get out of my house. I leave my husband sleeping if I have an appointment. And he does not question. Yes, I do, regardless of how it is. Don't ask me which type. So I'm telling you that being self-reliant as a woman gives you a lot of peace of mind. It limits or helps reduce issues of gender-based violence. It gives you the economic empowerment. When I go to my village where I'm married, the people respect me. I know they don't respect me because I'm married to their son and I'm beautiful. No, they respect me because of the economic power. That's what I know. Yes. And if you don't have anything, you will see there is even no in-law who will be saying hi to you on WhatsApp. Exactly. No one wants to know. But the respect you can gain as a woman is what do you have? What do you have as an individual? Exactly. And even the men. Men want people who have something. Exactly. Nobody wants somebody who is over deep. Exactly. You know the words. So these issues of sometimes you were asking someone if he uses the 1,000 to get something from the boyfriend. Now instead some of us, our men, ask for something. And you know it feels sweet to also tell the fella, I don't have, I cannot support you today. It is very nice to turn off when somebody is asking that, please can you buy sauce today? You say, no sir. If not, when he's telling you, can you cook beans? I'm like, no, I'm driving to buy some. Exactly. You know, you have that power and you can decide. But when you have nothing, whom are you talking to? So I just want to encourage all of us here, even the men, When you marry, I didn't know, not until of recent, that men also love to associate with women who have class. You know the trend has changed, yes. Sorry? Am I lying? Exactly. They want to see who is this person. Sometimes with my work, the exposure I have, I didn't know the fella sits with his relatives also to watch on TV, to listen, to do what. Then he tells me, that's my wife. I didn't know it is swag. Yes. So we must struggle in our own way to create our own world of comfort. For me, I can tell you I am not very rich. I don't have that money yet. That's why I'm hustling every day to learn new things, because I feel I must be better than what I am. But even then, with what I have, I am far much different with the colleagues I went with to school. So I want to encourage all of us that the world has a lot for us if you only know what to pick. Otherwise, there is too much that you can use either positively or negatively. So the ball is in your hands. Otherwise, I remain a very humble part of you, and I would wish to always be part of you, Laban, if time allows. Thank you so much for God and my country.
Yes, thank you very much, Pauline. Members, I would like to pass some announcements. Of course, there will be Omodeso trade show powered by Motive for makers and creators in Mbarara on 28th May 2023 here at the Innovation Village. And if you want more details, please reach out to the offices for more details. And also, I know we have heard a lot from this side. I know we have only one last speaker, but I really wanted, you know, have you realized that where you're seated, you are in a group already? So I want you to appoint a spokesperson in that group. And briefly, in just a minute, you've been here, people have talked from morning. Abantu bagamba kuruga mu kasheshe babali kugamba tikwe. Now you are going to make sure you appoint an Ofonopondo or a Bariomunsi, I don't know, whatever you want to appoint, or a Nandala. It's up to you, because for us here we are everyone is included, we are not political. Make sure you appoint a spokesperson, and in 1 minute that spokesperson is going to tell us what your table has picked. So, so that person is going to speak for your cabinet. So if the person says that there's nothing they have picked, we shall understand that your table has done what? Has not done and picked anything. So I don't know how you'll decide to make it. I don't know how we shall do it. I don't know if you'll name the groups. Emma, maybe you'll guide on this. Maybe if there are groups, if there are countries, choose a name for your group, okay? And I expect you, maybe if we can have some pieces of paper, I expect you to write. You are not listening to instructions. Now when you bring things that are not the same, we shall not be in position to assess you, because where you are already, you are in cabinet, you are in caucus, okay? So choose a name. On top of that paper, you're going to write your name of the group. You guys can call yourselves very interesting things, incredible, whatever it is that you want to call your group. So you put your group name, maybe Emma and Jemba, or you can help us to guide on the groups. Each group try to interact with them. Dina as well, try to see if you can. Please put your name of the group on top. Then you are going to put the spokesperson's name. You say spokesperson, okay? You put the real name of the spokesperson. Then you put the participants. Just initials. Just put your initials, okay? Then you give us the 5 points you have managed to pick out as a group. That one should take you like 5 minutes. because I see you are youthful and useful. Then also, members, you should understand that you have registration forms on your table. Try your level best not to lie to us your age, because I know some people like to hide age. Please don't hide your age. There are some registration forms you have that need and require your age. Please put your right age. Huh? Because you know these days we have Ndangamuntu. Before we have our speaker to come, I would really want us to have this program very fast as we prepare for her, because she's bringing very nice information about entrepreneurship, financial literacy. So we need to make sure that break gives us. So please, you confirm your registration with the age. Then, as we are having our lunch, or when we shall be having our lunch, when it is ready, please reach out to the registration table, confirm your phone numbers, confirm your email addresses. Are we hearing? Confirm your phone numbers, confirm your email addresses. And in case your phone number is not registered in your names, this is what we're now talking about, Charles. Because we know we have people here who on the ID, they are Nachito, but on the phone number, they are Nakato. So members, confirm your phone numbers. They should be in your names, matching your identification. If they are not, also clarify with the people we are doing that. I don't know if you've heard what I'm saying. Can I repeat? Okay. I am going to repeat for you. Ninga ngambo munyankoli. Ntukimanya ngoba mweni mukagenda mwakosa abantu bandi kuhandisa namba za simu zanye zimwine. So twantu gya kyamushana na ninshaba. Mugenda ho mwayihandikisa. Mugezeho kulanga ngo mwakonfaminga amazina ganyu ne namba zanyu. Mugende namba yiwataho eine kuba ne corresponding na machi n'amazina gawe. Kandi cyashita kubasika nyinga cyashita liko kukiri. Omenge sure ngo wataho mu brackets amazina gejo namba. Mwena amazina galyo mugejo namba. Nyinga, am I saying the right thing though? I feel like it's wrong. Yeah. So please, this should be an exercise that should take us like 5 to 10 minutes, and we are done for interactivity. Thank you. I've been corrected. The mobile money name. Wakachenga, and now they are attentive. Excuse me, members. I'm going to announce this for the last time. When we are having lunch, kindly confirm your email addresses. Kindly confirm the numbers you've given us, the phone numbers, with the mobile money names. Tujja kubalaba mu abateekayo abantu bammwe okubalwandisiza amanya. So this should take us only like 10 minutes. It's interactive. Make it interactive. Make sure the spokesperson you choose. Then
also we shall require them to fill in a feedback form at the end of the training, which will require so everyone has it.
Okay. Then we also have another announcement. We shall have a feedback form. We have a feedback form. We require you to fill this feedback form for everyone who has attended. Then all those who have innovations to present, I've been announcing this. I hope you have your presentations ready, because that's the session we shall be having after lunch. So please, Mr. Jemba is there, my fellow UN fellow. So we only have 5 minutes left in your cabinet meetings. 5 minutes left in your cabinet meetings. As you're in a caucus, mumumaze, mwachikubye dda. So as we see group number 1 coming in, they will come tell us their name, and the spokesperson will come. Yes, okay, you give the spokesperson, I'll call. Who has finished? Which group has finished? Oh yes, you have. Have you finished, guys? These guys have finished and already present. Are you ready to present? Can you come now? Let your representative come. Then you. Members, as long as you finish, please let me know, or let Will, Jemba, and Emma please be moving around to confirm the groups that have finished. Please come and present to us in 1 minute. 1 minute. Take note, your presentations are just in 1 minute. Starts now.
But I need attention.
No, it's okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Our group is called Attention Members. Attention. Our group name is called Achievers, and we have only 5 people. That is me, Ronald is there, Alinda, Eileen, the one who presented, and lastly, Mujuni, who is there. This is what we came up with. Number one, we learned about mindset change, and this is how we summarized it. We said that mindset, those of you with pens, those of you with pens, you can write this. We said mindset is...
Okay, we have been guided because he had asked for attention. Maybe we give the groups like 2 minutes, then you come and when they are attentive. Yeah. Okay. So members, kindly, let's do this in 2 minutes. Finish up so that we can have one person talking in front, so that we don't have to be diverted. You only have 2 minutes to finish what you're doing. In the meantime, as we're also trying to analyze, like I've told you, we have feedback forms that must be filled. We have feedback forms at the end of the training that we expect you to fill. We also expect you to confirm your mobile money names. And that's when we shall know the identities of people who don't have identity cards. Please take note, you only have 1 minute.
Yes. We are counting down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I could pause there, but I don't want us to cheat, 1 and 0. Ladies and gentlemen, I request for your attention. I think we are done. In everything you're doing, we expect you to have a time frame. You have to have a target, and you have to have time. So, Mr. President, take on. Because we are done here. Okay, we get a representative group.
So like we had agreed, no, there's that one there first. Like we had agreed, we only need one person to come, and it's in 1 minute to tell us. So the first presenter had already come, 1 minute. So this is 1, 2, then we do, we do 3 there. So keep giving them numbers.
So can we start? Okay, thank you once again. Okay, now I hold the microphone, so I'm the MC as you listen carefully. Our group name is called Achievers. Group name Achievers, and the 5 things we've learned so far. Number 1 is about mindset change. And by the level of our understanding, we have broken it down into just one word, which is NATO. You can write it down, NATO, NATO, where N is now, A is action, T is talk, then O, only. No action, talk, only. That is the circumstance where you are and you are not doing anything. You specialize in talking. Then to change the mind, it is the same NATO, N-A-T-O. But the words are changing like this. N as now, A, action, T, talk, then the last O is over. So we are changing from the other time of sitting and talking, but now converting talks to action. And for us, that's what we call mindset change. That is mindset. That's what we have learned from his presentation. And then number 2 is self-reliance for economic development. There's a time where you don't need to beg. At least you need to own something on your own. If you have a phone, then you don't need to beg for data or airtime. At least have something on you. Then we also learned about to sacrifice outside our office work. Even when you're a student, that's your office, but at least do some sacrifice. Do some community work. She's a refugee officer, but she was in a program of planting trees and other things. I am multifaceted, but I'm here to enjoy you. Nothing else. I'm a social worker. I went to a law school. I do a lot of work with old people and etc. But I am even a teacher by profession from Chambago University. But I'm here with you. Yes, so my time is valuable. Then lastly, embracing digital economy, that we no longer need to take things to the market. We need to learn to sell online, and people can appreciate. Of course, I remember telling you about the convention in the USA. So if you are here, you can have www.bkicommunity.org, www.banyankorekweteranainternational.org. You can sell whatever you want on that platform when you are seated here. Then lastly is social capital. Embrace and surround yourself with people with brains. Nothing else. Thank you very much.
Auntie, you leave your paper here. Next, the next group.
A brief, eh? You are all having 3 minutes at most. When you're done, we request you to leave your presentation here. Are we together? Are we together, people in the back? Eh? People on the table next to the DJ. Are we together? When you're done presenting, you put your presentation here. Everyone has 3 minutes. I'm timing. Thank you, Stan.
Thank you. Our group is called Intelligent Babandana. First, I'm here to confirm that we've learned a lot, but just to highlight 5 aspects and 5 lessons. We've learned that 1, accountability. To achieve these SDGs, everyone should be accountable. All stakeholders across board, in your individual capacity, you must ask yourself, what are you doing? Government must ask itself, NGOs, the private sector, and other players. Second is networking, the ability to network, to make friends, social capital. Third, shared responsibility. It is a collective goal, and it is a collective responsibility to achieve these SDGs. All of us, it's upon us. So even you, the facilitators, even the attendants of the workshop, it's incumbent upon us that we fight to see that we achieve these goals. Then the lady there talked about female independence. She motivated fellow ladies, talked about the importance of self-reliance. We must go out there and work. Women must work. They shouldn't just depend on their men. That we are just past that era. Then the other one is how to manage information. How do you receive information if you have access to it? How do you process it? How do you internalize it? How do you disseminate it? We should not just receive information and share for. We must have that ability to manage it. Then the other point is to use our phones very well. They cannot continue to be just liabilities. They are assets. We are already investing a lot of money in these phones. The next one is flexibility. And somebody talked about agriculture, and it's my area of interest. We must do, for instance, value addition. We must be able to harmonize and integrate, for example, technology and agriculture, if we are to really achieve these goals. For an overview, we've learned that just these SDGs are a blueprint to get a better and sustainable future, and they are interlinked and they are connected, so we must find a way to harmonize them so that we can achieve them. I thank you. We remain the Intelligent Babandana.
I like the name, Intelligent Babandana. Then we have had presentations from achievers. So the next, can we have another mic? Where's another microphone? Eh? It's off. Oh, okay. Yeah, number 3.
Yes, thank you. We are group 3. They have chosen us to be group 3. We call ourselves Agape, One Love. What we have learned as a group, I'm going to give an overview like they say. Number 1 is every situation presented to you, please make sure you look for an opportunity in it. Each and every situation presented to you, be it this conference, be it that, make sure you look for an opportunity in it. Secondly, always change your mindset. And according to this, for us, how we understood this is we are going to change our mindset by first changing the mindset of those who are older than us. How? They think we are unable as the youth. But in this case, we are going to prove them that we are able by changing their mindset and doing those things that are going to earn us, that we can handle each and every funding given to us. We can handle each and every opportunity given to us with care. That is changing their mindset instead. I've changed the thing. We are changing the people above their mindset. We are going to, point 3, always start small. Start small, look for an external funding. That's how we grow. Don't look for a funding before you start. It's impossible. I think number 4, use digital platform to earn a living and make a difference. Make sure that you make a difference from those platforms, not necessarily posting memes, such things. Yes. Sorry. Number 5, empower yourself as a woman. This, our lady here, she told us about empowering yourselves as ladies. But yes, if we are to choose that we as men, we can also empower ourselves, I think it would also work. But as a woman, empower yourself. It is okay. We also learned that. And account for your time, please. Make sure you account for each and every minute you waste. Like our man said, instead of working for 3 hours to go and somewhere do a meeting, these online or digital platforms are here. You can do that without wasting the time of traveling and whatsoever. Number 6, what I call number 6, use small spaces like our backgrounds to get, okay. We have backgrounds, some of us, our backgrounds are based on agriculture. Yeah, we can use that as a basement to start. Don't criticize the agriculture that it is for the older people, those who are not educated and whatsoever. Please use that as a basement to earn something out of it. Thank you. We remain Agape, number 3. One love.
Okay, thank you, Agape. One love. Number 4, group number 4. So we have so far only had presentations from the Achievers, Intelligent Babandana, and Agape One Love. So far, so good. I think the spokespeople have, the spokespersons that have been appointed. I now see a lady in red. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Presenting after gentlemen have presented feels somehow scary because I feel kind of scared. But yes, we are group number 4 and our name is the Young Innovators. We are young and beautiful and intelligent. So it is a team of 9 people. That is Mwebembez Anthony, Akansi Magidion, Mohammed Nsamba, Janina Chomhendo, Lois Nimsima, Annette Nabasa, Birunji John Bosco, Kana Charles, and myself, Nsimenta Bridget. So this is what we learned today. The first thing was economic independence. Economic dependence. So when economic dependence is very bad, but when you are independent, you own your own decisions. You are a master of your own dreams. You are a master of everything. If at all I want to buy a new dress, I will not say that, honey, I want a dress. No, I'll just go buy myself a dress. So that will be simple there and then. And he will be like, oh, you look so beautiful. I'm like, oh yeah, and we shall move on a straight line. So we learned about mindset change. One thing that we've always seen, sometimes when you look at a person, maybe because of their looks or because of the physical outlook, immediately you judge. Immediately you judge. Maybe when we came here, we started talking about how we do not have the 500, and maybe some of them started knowing that they are pretending they don't have it. But sometimes we don't have all that money, but we have the dreams. So ask me for my dream and then guide me. What next can I do? So we also learned about the 17 SDGs and the indicators with the principles. And in the principles, we had the shared responsibility and leaving no one behind and accountability. When it came to sharing responsibility, I personally, it's something that I haven't been doing. But when we sat there, indeed we shared the responsibilities. Everyone had to list what they learned, and that is what we had to table and present. So yes, finally, using your phones responsibly and proper use of digital gadgets. You can use your phones to employ yourselves. Thank you so much. We remain Young Innovators.
Yes, thank you very much, lady in red. Okay, we have from Achievers, we have heard from Bandana, Agape, Young Innovators, and here we have another group. Thank you.
Yes. This is group 5. Our group was named Focused Group. And as you can see, indeed, we are focused. We've noted our 5 points that we've learned from this session. And our first point is about SDGs. We've learned about 17 SDGs and the 5 principles, namely shared responsibility, integrated approach, accountability, universality. Then our second point was we learned about agriculture, as we know that we all depend on agriculture as our backbone, and for us as a group, we are going to start from today, start our own businesses, because as you all know, sitting and wishing does not make man, and the best way to start is to start. So for our group, we've already put it in our mind that from today and onwards, we are going to start our own small businesses as we wait to grow big. And the third point was about mindset in the digital economy, that we should use our gadgets profitably, not doing things that don't benefit us. And our fourth point is about self-reliance and climate change. From the lady who was here, we've learned a lot that we should conserve our environment, starting from our homes right away, then as we go to other areas. Our fifth point is about still on the digital, how whenever we access these digital platforms, how we use them, and evaluating, and of course, making it profitable and earning from them. Thank you very much. We remain focused group.
Okay, thank you, focused group. We need to have the next group coming in, but I will still give you an update. We have, as the spokesperson is coming, we have Achievers, we have Intelligent Babandana, we have Agape, Young Innovators, and Focused Partners Group. So over to you, Madam.
Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all of us. Our team name is Icons, and as all of us know, icons, it means something that is representable and influential in a society. My name is Barbara Nwabaine Grace. And here are the 5 things we have learned from this session. Number 1, but before that, we have a note for our speakers and to all of us as well, which is who will continue to make the difficult decisions to ensure our survival, which means it's us, the people, us, the youth. It's us to decide on who to take upon the decisions for our survival, isn't it? So the 5 things we have learned, we have digital literacy, and here we learned that we have to utilize the current resources we can currently control for our survival. And then we learn to take responsibility to champion the SDGs, such as being able to service or carrying out services into the society and the community as well. Then we also learn to translate SDGs materials that are in stock. That is, we start small and constantly grow our networks. And then the principles, as always, that's shared responsibility, accountability, universality. That means we as the youth specifically have to be patient with the process. And then we also learn to do things deliberately and accept criticism. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Icons. Number 7. Where you are? Where are you? Who are you? What are you? Over to you.
Thank you very much. I stand here to represent the Intelligent Giants, and we are a group of 7 members. This is group 7. The points that we've learned today, one is a change in the mindset. We all believe that the nation that uplifts the youth holds the future. So kindly, young people, don't sit on your ideas. Start, implement, and then change the world. Then number 2, we learned how to use minimum technology. at your disposal to earn a living. Even though you have this small phone of Kabiriti, kindly check if you have 250 contacts and none of them can really do for you a business shower. Kindly delete them and remain alone in the world. Then another thing that we've learned SGDs as a basic learning skill for everyone for a better Uganda and a better world at large. For example, we are here learning about them, but this is the real facts. For example, SGD number 1, we believe that 80% of the young people are unemployed. Even though those ones who are employed, they have issues of getting little money or little salaries. Then another thing, we learned the components of digital literacy. And number 1 was find out which platform you can access. Be strategic in whatever that you're doing. Be creative, start small, and grow big. We remain the intelligent giants. Thank you.
Thank you, intelligent giants. As we wait for group 8, I will give you an update. We have received from Achievers, Intelligent Babandana, Agape, Young Innovators, Focused Partners, Icons, and Intelligent Giants. Over to you, lady.
All protocol observed. A very good afternoon to all of us. My name is Letitia Hilire. I'm from the Great Minds. Yeah, we are a team of 8 people. I won't mention their names due to time. We have about 7 points. 1, principles of 2030 agenda. As in the first session, we learned about the principles and SDGs. So we are looking at shared responsibility, where we all have to contribute from different fields. Then leave no one behind. We have to consider the disadvantaged group, especially the lame, and everyone, especially the grassroots level. Accountability, we should be transparent in whatever we do to achieve our targets. Then integrated approach, interlinking all the SDGs. Then another point is empowering ladies. Me, myself, I'm empowered because being a lady and a girl child, I feel so great. So I shouldn't be intimidated, I should be motivated and inspired. Then another thing is flexibility. You should be able to change in any other circumstances that you come across. Let it be in the field you are. You shouldn't dwell on one project, instead you should diversify. Then another thing is climate change. We all need to conserve our environments wherever you're coming from. We should all be environmentalists, as one of our colleagues said. Then mindset change. We should look on positivity, not negativity, shifting your beliefs and attitude. Lastly, we use of digital platforms. We should use our phones responsibly for businesses. Use them as assets, not liabilities. Thank you very much. That was the great mind.
Yes, thank you. Members, I hope you understand that we are doing this towards lunch, so the longer you take, the longer our lunch. So we have the next group. Can I give an update? We have Achievers, we have Babandana, we have Agape, Young Innovators, Focused Partners, Icons, Intelligent Giants, and the Great Minds. You people, you have wonderful names, eh? Keep it up. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm called Siungs Dennis, representing. I'm the spokesperson for the genesis of the name is that the group name is called Lucky Spams, and good at technology. The other one is good at agriculture, so that you become a great team. Mindset change. Everyone here has talked about mindset change. There's another presenter that talked about change the mindset. That was our digital person, and I think for the interest of time, I will just move. Then the point, one of our members noted the point of being an ambassador of change in the community. at least each one of you get an SDG goal, go and be a champion of that goal in your community. We had the lady that, the refugee person, at least is picked goal number 12, which is climate change. So you can be a champion in climate change. Start planting trees that can benefit your community. Then about the digital, what do you do with your social media handles? Please, we got advice that when you go out there, make sure that the ladies that have been posting your pictures showing certain things, now start posting useful things. Change your bio so that maybe if you're called upon on a panel, you can, someone can easily say, this one does this and this and this and the other. And maybe another one is that use your phone for beneficial purposes. If you've been using data of 5K per month, let's say, and you're just using it to text a friend, use it to advertise a certain thing that you're doing. I've seen very many colleagues, they are still at school, but they have started up some, even when you don't own a shop, you can just take a picture of for example, this board, and then you advertise it, and you will get a commission from that. So use your phones very profitably. Starting up small. I think where that gentleman was taking us, when he said 500K, which every one of us can afford, is that you can use that 500K to do something and by starting small, and you keep growing. Then another thing that we learned, which was the first thing here, was the genesis of the SDGs that started in 2015, and then they were Millennium Development Goals to SDGs, and their principles. For example, shared responsibility, and one of the Luckiest Palm members pointed out an issue of polluter pays principle, or precautionary principle, and that is what they were talking about. That don't throw a cavera outside when you're moving in a bus. Don't throw a cavera outside. Put it in the dustbin, and that is the role that you're doing at an individual level. Thank you so much. From the Lucky Spams.
Thank you very much, Lucky Spams. I don't know if there are those who are unlucky, but I believe that... But an update, do we have any other group that has not presented? Yes, so the earlier you get, the better. Group number 10. Are you 10? Are you group number 10? Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Namande Christine. I'm from Group Alpha, and we are going to give you the 5 aspects we learned today. So from the first speaker, income, such that by the time your donor or the person giving you a grant comes, he has somewhere he can start from. From the third speaker, Mr. Tusime Charles, we learned to have a change mindset, which incorporates comprehending reasons for change and realizing that not every resistance to change is valid. Some resistance to change is not valid. Then he also taught us to use our gadgets as assets, not as liabilities, through comprehending the basic digital literacy components, which include finding, evaluating, creating, and communicating information that will give you a job in the future. For example, on your social media handles, what are you communicating? Are you talking about, if you're a medical student, the riots? Are you talking about the Mawati? Or you're informing people about the SDGs? Then the fourth speaker, she was an overseer of the refugees in southwestern Uganda. She taught us many things, but we picked that self-reliance is going to breed economic empowerment. The world is not changed by opinions, but by action. So we implore each and every one of you today not to just keep these things in our books, but in our minds, but to act upon them. Thank you very much.
You give me my presentation now, because it ceases to be yours the moment you present as the spokesperson. Thank you. Aspect A. What is the name of the group? Alpha. A. So group 11, where are you? As I give updates, so we have received group achievers, intelligent babandana, agape, young innovators, focused partners group, icons, intelligent giants, and alpha. So I don't know which one you have called yours, but Ndugu spokesperson, you're welcome. Over to you now.
All right, thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to you. The fact that you're all here, I think it's a good one. And I'm Cosmas Mugabe. I'm coming from the group called the Elite, Group 11. And a couple of speakers have come here to give, or to showcase what they have gotten from the speakers, different speakers tonight. And we as the elites, we have come to bring these points to your concern. One, our slogan is, it's all about now. Because we do believe that no one can go back into tomorrow, into yesterday, and there's no one who can go into tomorrow now, but you own now. So anything you want to do, anything like you think, any innovation you feel that you have to do it now. It has to be now. Then there was something like status quo. People have gotten to, our youth today, they have what we call status quo. They think something to do with computing, that one is for computer literates. So they think not anyone can do that. And someone posed the question and was like, for how many times do you, what kind of things do you post on your media? If someone can track your email and goes to your media platforms, what are things that they can find there? So that one has come to our concern, and this and through here we will be able to always make sure that what we do post is always too innovative. Another thing was about we are in the dynamic world. Technologies, they are emerging every day, and different things are coming out. So one time I was talking to my friend and told me, like, what do you think will be the next update in Apple? And one of them said, I think they might bring the battery whereby you have to pay maybe like $1 and it's full. And that one is possible just because those people, they are too innovative when they think something. Like someone talked about NATO, like something was like action and not talking, do now. So if they think, they implement, and that's what we are not doing, and that's why we are still lagging behind. Thank you.
Okay, you give me my presentation. It is not yours. As long as you submit it, you have. Thank you very much. This is the elites. Do we have another group before I announce to go for lunch? Is this the last? You are the last. Okay, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Laban. Group 12, Team Magenta. We chose Magenta because it represents universal harmony and emotional balance. My team members, Karugava Francis, Kembawas Natasha, Ingabere Warda, Ampere Rachel, Akampura Daphne, and Kayanja Emmanuel. So some of the things we learned, most of you, of course, have been stated. So we looked at the principles, the ones which have already been explained. I won't go down to that so that we don't delay going for lunch. Then there is one we picked in the goals, the targets and indicators was the no poverty, where we looked at the target being by 2030, they want to eradicate extreme poverty for all people everywhere, currently measured as people living less than $1.25 per day. That is literally less than around 5,000. So what's the indicator here? This is looking at the proportion of the population which lives below that. And here we're looking at the different things in terms of the sex, the employment status, and the geographical location. So what are the interests of the UN? This one, it has a duty and a call to what happens to the country and the neighboring countries. When we came to the farming aspect, most of it has been talked about. They say, but then one point we picked was, it all starts with you. If you don't start, you're not going to move.
So, and then the other thing of digital literacy, whereby they say the different platforms, how you use your platform is very important. If you're a person on Twitter, you've seen several people giving accounts of how, due to their mishandling of their social media platforms, someone is end up not employed. And then the other point of economic empowerment, men no longer go for broke women. So please, ladies, you know what to do. And then also be the change maker. If you want a change, do the change. And always start from the grassroots. If you have younger siblings, please go and preach the SDGs to them so that as they come up, they also start implementing these things in the different levels they will be. Thank you so much. We remain Team Magenta. Bon appétit.
Merci beaucoup. So now, members, I understand that the central government of your bodies has been called for caucus, and I understand it also connects on the apex, to the apex of your bodies. So I'm very sure that there is a disconnection, there is no coordination in both physical, mental, and what else? Emotional. Thank you. Members, I know all of you here have a Twitter handle, at least, or a Facebook, or whatever it is. Kindly take a picture, share it on your social media platform, and give a message on what you're trying to do. You as a person, you can tag the SDG Secretariat, you can tag the Youth Coalition for SDGs, you can tag Your Uganda, you can tag the Dependable Foundation, you can tag whichever organization you represent here. So it's at this juncture that you can allow me to tell you that we can, I don't know if, Emma, where are you? Or Jemba? Any of the, are we ready in the powerhouse so that we can have a systematic break? Maybe Carol, yes. So as members are finding out our status quo, we need to be back by 3:30. We are having 1 hour. We are having 1 hour for the lunch break, and being positioned to come back at 3:30 and have a presentation from Dependable Foundation and also your innovations. We should be ending this program by 4 p.m. But in the lunch break, please members, confirm your email addresses, your telephone numbers, and your mobile money names, so that, and let us do it systematically. So now we can break off that 1 hour, and then we can manage to revert after at 3:30. Thank you very much for listening. For God and my country. Yes, confirm your details. Please take your time before you go, before you run away, to fill it in, because these are all crucial details for you. The feedback form, your email address, the telephone number. I would have asked you for your age, but I will simply say attach your national ID in the future. So we shall forgive you for now, but there are some forms that are passing through that need you to place your age. So kindly put your age. Was the lunch okay? But now you guys are now, after eating, I don't know what happens. Was the lunch fine?